This is ESL Rocket League. Welcome, everybody. It's the first shoutcast for ESL. This is Go4RocketLeague tournament number 4. I'm BaerTaffy. This is Northernlion. Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm Northernlion.
You ready? You stoked?
I'm actually super excited. I've read the dossier you prepared for me on the teams. I'm excited
Oh,
to
it's
competitive Rocket
no,
League.
it's the first shoutcast for ESL. Get rid of that. All right, we're good. Sorry,
Never
go ahead.
a problem here. Live
Always,
entertainment.
always
folks.
flawless. Go ahead. You're ready. You're pumped, though.
I'm actually super excited. Who do we have for our first match?
We got Air Force 2 versus Octakumi. Air Force 2 has been competing in basically every ESL Go4 tournament for Rocket League since they started doing these on a weekly basis. And for the first two, they were only bested by Cosmic Aftershock, who, of course, are tournament favorites in basically every single tournament they play in.
Yeah, I guess with top two finishes, it's fair to say that Air Force 2 are probably the heavy favorites here, but I'm interested to see what can happen. We're in the round of
32.
Round of 32. Time for some upsets if there's ever going to be some. Only a few rounds to go until we get down to the nitty-gritty here.
Indeed. We're going to jump over to the actual game POV right now. We're going to be hopping on as spectators, hopefully giving you guys a decent angle on the action. We're going to hop in right now, and I think these guys are nearly ready to go.
According to the bracket, the winner of this match will actually be going up against Cosmic Aftershock. So we might see two heavyweights or maybe a heavyweight and an upstart coming in pretty soon, depending on how this one goes down.
My goodness. I think I got to let these guys know, ready when you are, if we can. Can I even type that? I don't know if I can. Oh my god, no, that's tilt controls. My goodness.
I believe that the teams are just taking some extra time to prepare.
Mm-hmm. So
they probably were ready to start 20 minutes ago when we were supposed to be here.
Right, of course. So predictions here. What do you got? I think I'm going to roll with Air Force 2. I think Air Force 2 has proven themselves pretty strong contenders here for the most part in these ESL Go4 tournaments. They I don't know if they're quite ready to take on the top dogs, but they've been pretty strong here. Air Force 2 consisting of Dex9, Dick Dog, Not Valid, and Tim Bob 22. I think we're going to have the starting lineup up in this match today.
I really do want to avoid making the stream just exclusively like super pro Cosmic Aftershock, because we'll see, you know, anyone could take it. But you got to be feeling that maybe after the MLG tournament earlier this week, Cosmic Aftershock, maybe the confidence is a little bit shaken, but, you know, the true mark of a champion is how they perform after they've been defeated, to see if they can pick themselves up.
Pretty devastating loss there, I think. Although they were pretty sporty about it. I guess when we're not playing for $500,000 prize pools just yet, maybe they'd take a little bit of a brush off the shoulder. But they've proven now, maybe, you know, not in the best way that they could have imagined, but they've proven now that there is indeed valid competition for the top spot. So that is interesting.
Never forget that Team America had to lose in D2, the Mighty Ducks, to Team Iceland in order to be able to beat them in the end. Sometimes, you know, you learn a lot more from your losses than you do from your victories.
Are Cosmic Aftershock the Team Russia of Rocket League right now?
The Team Russia? I'm not talking about. There's all sorts of nationalism wrapped up in that question. We're supposed to be impartial commentators here.
Oh, that's okay. I thought maybe the D2 reference was going to tie into that, but I guess that went a little bit too far-winded.
We're just fans of good play here.
That's right. I'm hoping for a good match. I think round of 32 used to not even be really that competitive in these ESL tournaments. So I think now the competition is heated up. Actually, looking at the bracket here as well, we've seen a few, I guess you could call them upsets. A couple of the people that have been placing near the top, including such teams as Force It In, actually knocked out in the round of 64 by Toxic Taters. Force It In, actually, if I recall correctly, yeah, up there in the top 4 in the monthly standings so far. So that's a surprising result there as well.
Well, if there's one thing that's really clear about Rocket League is that every week the level of competition just gets better and better. You know, things that were brand new and novel last week are must-know skills and tricks to use the week after. And I don't want to say the meta keeps evolving, but just the competitors keep getting more and more skilled. We haven't reached any kind of equilibrium yet, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that today.
Right. Still just making sure these guys are set to go. Again, we've got Air Force 2 versus Octakumi coming up here in the round of 32 action. Pardon us as we are, of course, doing things a little bit on the fly right now. It's our first time. Be gentle.
We're live in our home studios. If you go into the stands, you can see us in that Rocket League broadcaster booth.
That's right, actually. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what this is all about. Yeah, have you enjoyed yet the spectator mode in Rocket League?
This will, it'll be my second time using the spectator mode. And you know, I know you're more of a player cam person. I'm a little bit of a big picture guy. I like to pull it out as if I'm, you know, playing a FIFA or watching you know, an NHL game on TV or something like that. Get a bigger view of like the positional game that the people are playing. And I'll leave the highlights to you, all the flying, apocalyptic, slam dunk shenanigans.
Oh, I love those words all combined into a sentence like that. God, that's so satisfying.
It's actually the name of my firstborn son. Thank you.
Oh man, all the flags. This is actually gorgeous. When I pull out and look at all of this, it's beauty.
The city has poured a lot of money into the Rocket League Stadium.
Unfortunately, they've only filled the stands with balloons so far. It doesn't look like the populace is really taken on to this sport too well.
What most people don't realize is that balloons, those balloons are actually filled with a silicone jelly. They're meant to simulate human weight, just to ensure that the stadium has the structural foundation necessary to hold the eventual masses that will be spectating this Rocket League match.
Right, of course. And once they all leave, the stadium actually floats away. It's being held down by the weight of the audience. So that's kind of a dramatic problem here that we're facing.
It's a very delicate balance, much like the delicate balance that we have between our competitors here in this Rocket League tournament.
Of course. I'm gonna have to check in on these guys, actually. Let's see.
Lots of pre-game strategizing.
Mm-hmm.
Sizing up the opponents, looking at some game film, figuring out how to exploit weaknesses and capitalize on their own strengths.
So we got Cosmic Aftershock, of course, a major favorite in the tournament. I think VQ Untethered, though, they were the ones that gave them a little bit of trouble in that finals matchup, led by their captain Lichinio, who is forced to be reckoned with. I actually got matched up against him in ranked matchmaking, and that guy can pull off some stunts. It is a sight to behold.
Well, I'm interested to see some of this amazing Rocket League skill, because, you know, if things had gone a little differently for you and I, that could have been us.
That's right.
In this tournament. We could have been there.
The only reason we are here is because we've been disbarred from competitive Rocket League as a result of our insistent trash talk and just, you know, pretty garbage behavior otherwise.
I do enjoy spamming the great save quick chat.
Would be, what a save, actually? You plebeian?
Oh, no. I've been exposed
casual?
as the poser I am. We decided actually that it would be less work to become Rocket League competitors than it would be, or to become commentators than it would be to become competitors.
Right.
We tore our knees out in JV, and all of a sudden here we are. Things could have been so different for us. It could have been our name in lights.
What a world.
And now we're just another egg in the stands.
All right, sounds like they're getting the go-ahead to get started here. We'll go ahead and jump back over to the stream point of view. We'll give you guys mostly player views for this action. We'll have Northernlion pulling out on the pitch cam just to get the bigger picture. But here we go. Looks like they're jumping in finally. We got Mecha, we got Crouch, we got Lolicon over here on the blue squad. Orange team should be filing in here shortly. We got Dig Dog, Tim Bob, and Not Valid. And away we go. We are hopping on. Starting off here. Who we got? We got Dig Dog. Player view. There we go. I'm learning spectator mode. Dig Dog playing a little bit of defense here. Getting a nice block there from Valid. Coming across. Oh my goodness, nearly a score there. Tim Bob with the epic save. Protects the goal.
Tim Bob 22 with the save of the tournament as far as I'm concerned already. That was amazing.
That was actually pretty damn clutch here in the first 15 seconds. Tim Bob grabbing some boost, coming back to the offensive side of the pitch, but it looks like trying to get some early control here as Mecha has been doing a great job keeping the ball up in the air and giving them some more opportunities to set it in front of the net.
Yeah, you'll notice that blue is really keeping the pressure on here. They had orange a little bit disorganized, but they're reset again. They've got a goalie in net, and we're pretty much back to equilibrium here, even though the ball's in the defensive zone for them.
Looks like Lolicon and Crouch taking up the offensive positions here while Mecha is trying to hold down the fort while also getting position. Tim Bob with a great setup up in the air. All members of blue there for the defense.
We had a little Superman versus Goku there in the air. Both the defender and the attacker flying to try to hit that one. Always dangerous, but when it works, it works.
Gonna jump on with Dig Dog here as they've got their ball up in the offensive zone again. Playing up on the wall a lot, but looks like they're missing out on a few opportunities. Jumping over to Lolicon, who has nailed it up in the corner. Trying to set themselves up again. Mecha with maybe not as much of a touch as he would have wanted on that shot, and they're gonna get a good pinch off the wall, but a nice set again from Lolicon. Putting it up right in front of the net. He's got a chance, but it looks like they were able to defense that quite well.
Yeah, you really have to feel that both teams are going for broke here. Flying, not always in the best situations, not always the best execution, but they got to give it their all if they're going to be playing Cosmic Aftershock anyway.
Crouch manages to nail it out of there. Tim Bob setting it up in the center again. All these guys not really going for the more dramatic approaches. They're kind of sticking to their laurels here, trying to play a little bit low to the ground, maybe feeling each other out here in the early game.
Well, you know, it can be a long series, and it looks like they're playing 1 up, 2 back right now for the most part until things get set up in one of the zones. But you have to feel as soon as one team puts a score on the board that it is going to be different and one team is going to commit offensively.
Crouch still sticking in that net. Crouch playing some all-time goalie here, which I don't know about this. I think they might need a little bit more help trying to set up a goal. 2-on-3 doesn't really work out too advantageously for you. I think they might need to rethink this approach.
You're not wrong, but you also don't want to be the guy who lets that goal in, especially in a tournament that, you know, could be a chance for you to get your team's name, you know, on that Rocket League Cup, or a chance for you to, you know, reascend to greatness for Air Force 2 here.
Dig Dog putting some pressure on Mecha with another great defensive play here. Let's go ahead and jump on board with Lolicon, who's been doing some work up in the midfield. 3 minutes through this game, still scoreless. What do you think of this?
Well, I agree with you. I think they're still feeling each other out. Nobody wants to be the one to let in that first goal. And, you know, it's not just the score that matters. It's the momentum and the confidence. It changes your play style as soon as that score changes. A 0-0 game, everybody's usually pretty comfortable. Once it gets to 1-0, we're going to see people overcommitting on offense, people doubling down on defense and parking the bus. Anything can happen here.
That was a great midair block from Mecha there. Still trying to keep control as much as they possibly can. Tim Bob with the bounce over the corner. All of them in position, though. No one really being caught out right now. Looks like they're going to try to make somebody else make the first mistake. At least that's what's been the play up to this point. Dig Dog going up with a gentle tap, but Lolicon's there for the save. Let's hop on board with Dig Dog again.
You'll notice that both teams have a really good rotation going. As soon as the goalie commits to doing what could be a risky fly, somebody comes back to take their position.
Decent shot there from Tim Bob again, though. Lolicon always there to make the stop. Setting it up in the corner now. Dig Dog might be there for the play. A decent shot attempt, but no good as Crouch is there to make the save. More and more attempts to set it up in the midfield. Crouch, though, always in that net. He's got his savior medal now. It's been all defense up to this point, and Air Force 2 can't put anything in the net.
And we are really now in that danger zone where whichever goalie makes a mistake first, that might dictate who takes the first game in the series.
Dig Dog manages to recover after Tim Bob makes a small mistake there, not being able to quite clear it out as much as he wanted to. Picks up this canister. He's playing really far back. Again, both teams very hesitant to bring up that third player.
Yeah, I mean, with this amount of time left, you kind of just want to keep it into overtime for the most part. Nobody wants to overcommit, make a mistake, and then lose the game.
Oh, but a big play as Mecha uses the pool shot to put it in. Let's see Mecha on that perspective again. Follows it all the way through. Slams his opponent into the ball somehow. Manages to finish it off.
Really unfortunate mistake from Tim Bob 22 there. Jumped in the wrong direction. The ball sneaks by him. Happens to the best of us, and it's happened here, and that might be the defining moment of the game.
Indeed. We only got 30 seconds left. It looks like Mecha has... Oh, my goodness. Lolicon puts it out. Gets a good clear. Mecha's lone goal might be the deciding factor here. 15 seconds left. Mecha's going up. Not quite there, but Lolicon's got the follow-up. Crouch there as well. They're going all in, all offensive for this final 10 seconds. They really don't want to let it on their side of the pitch.
Give all credit to Blue. They're staying aggressive on offense. They don't want to give them any chance to pull back into this.
And that's a good ball kill there by Mecha. Great play. And Octakumi actually manages to take the first of this best of 5. I think we're going to go ahead and ready up and get right into game 2. These guys are ready to go. Lolicon with 3 saves. Mecha, though, with the lone goal on the game.
And we had 2 saviors on the blue team, which is remarkable. Just shows how defensively strong they were. And if you're that defensively strong, you only need to capitalize on 1 or 2 mistakes in order to pull out with a win.
Gotta wonder if they're gonna employ a similar approach here now. I called them out on the all defensive strat, but it looks like they might have a better idea of what they're doing than I do, surprisingly.
That's not surprising at all, I think, is what most people would probably say to that. That's why they're down there driving the cars and we're up here watching the cars.
Lolicon with a good pinch shot there. Mecha again coming back out here to try to get this cleared out, but Dig Dog with a nice play off the wall to get it centered again. Unfortunately, can't get any help. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Not Valid. Haven't seen a lot out of him today. Very high up in the air. Manages to nearly get that double tap. Misses the canister, though, for the boost. I bet he wanted to grab that early on here. Trying to maybe set something
hungry,
up.
just knocking Mecha out of the way there to get this clear into the side.
Absolutely. Trying to get it up in that corner, but of course, Great play from Mecha. The awareness to not allow them to get that easy set. Let's hop on board with Mecha again, just doing work here all over the field. Trying his damnedest to get up there and maybe put in another goal to put his team up 1-0 again. 1 minute through here, grabs a canister. Sees the cross-field shot, but looks like Crouch is going to be there to reset it again in the center. Tim Bob, though, with the counter. Mecha nearly misses that, but a great aerial to try to set it off the center ball.
And it means so much when you can get your defense and your goalie to clear it, not just a little bit, but to seriously knock it back into the enemy's offensive zone.
Lolicon! Wow, with the amazing shot. We got to see that again. I didn't think he was actually going to get this angle, but he manages to follow it up with his own hit even. Great angle. Tim Bob doing everything he can to try to intercept that, but Lolicon with just a spectacular shot.
Oh, you cannot blame the goalie for that one. When the laws of physics deign that you are going to get scored on, you are going to get scored on, and Lolicon just used that to his advantage.
Seeing if maybe he can set himself up for a similar approach here. Trying to go around the corner, but it looks like Dig Dog's going to be there to set that off. Great clear ball, but Mecha there for the follow-up. It looks like they're being a little bit more offensive-minded, although, of course, we still have Crouch in here holding down the fort.
No, you really, really have to think that Orange is going to start to be aggressive soon. It's not quite time to panic, but if you fall behind 2 games in the series, that could be a real problem.
And the mid-air collision from Crouch somehow gets the demolition on Dig Dog. Mecha with a nice bicycle hit, reinforcing the meta I've come to know and love so much. Dig Dog maybe with a decent set here. Oh, but Crouch is going up. He misses the aerial, but nobody's there to follow it up. Maybe a big missed opportunity there from Air Force 2, but they've got another one. Again.
And with a team that's as defensively strong as they've been so far, you really have to capitalize on those mistakes. That is going to feel like a missed opportunity if they lose this one.
You got to feel like maybe they're anticipating the fact that Crouch has been so consistent on these aerial plays in goal that he's never really going to miss any of those opportunities. So the fact that it fell so easily down in front of the net maybe just caught him off guard.
You know, it sounds ridiculous, but there is some merit. Sometimes missing can be your best strategy, because if the enemy's preparing for you to hit it, they're going to be completely out of position. But so will you.
Crouch, another great defensive play, but Mecha can't seem to get it quite out of their side of the pitches. Dig Dog and Tim Bob, those are fun names to say right in a row there, but Dig Dog is doing a great job keeping it out of their defensive zone, but looks like they might have their opportunity now. Let's go ahead and hop on with Mecha here, who is trying everything he can to get this ball out of the blue zone. Tim Bob with a nice hit, good center ball, but again, Mecha there to knock it out. Might have wanted to go up a little higher there.
Anytime that ball ends up in front of the blue net, it is gone in a heartbeat. And it's not cleared out in front if they can avoid it. It's cleared off at an angle. Makes it so hard to get a second chance in there. And if you're not getting those rebounds, you got to have a very good shot to score.
Crouch goes up with a decent aerial. Mecha tries to make something more of it. Crouch almost gets the angle, but Tim Bob with a great position for the body block makes the save. And he's going to go ahead and keep this going. Nice clear out from Lolicon. Let's go ahead and hop on with Tim Bob here as the orange team. Air Force 2 trying their damnedest to get up here and get a point on the board as they're still being held scoreless through the whole series. Great set there, but oh, Tim Bob just underneath the ball.
Yeah, they are just being stymied by this blue defense right now. They're trying things, but it's not panning out because the defense is just so strong that they can't get through and get a second chance.
Oh, dangerous hit there by Tim Bob. Valid nearly scored off his mistake, but luckily just missed. Lolicon manages to clear that out. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Valid here as well, as he is doing some great work on the defensive side, but they need some help here on offense. If they can't put a point on, they're going to be down 2-0 in this series. Maybe a difficult mountain to climb.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, if the games are 6-5, 4-2, you at least know that you can score on the enemy team. But there's a big psychological factor involved when you have not put up a single goal in 2 matches so far. It's going to be very difficult for them to get themselves out of that hole. But, hey, that's the mark of a true champion if they can make it happen.
Absolutely. Lolicon trying to follow through on his wall hit. Doesn't quite manage to get the angle right. Mecha with a nice little tap, but not a lot there. Ooh, Tim Bob maybe setting himself up here. This is Valid, of course, trying to play it off the wall. Tim Bob again following through. The Lolicon's there for the interception. Maybe hitting it off the wall, but Dig Dog gets the better angle. Not quite what he needed.
And if that could have just been maybe 30 degrees to the right, we might be talking about this a little differently. Those are a very hard type of shot to save.
The final 10 seconds hopping on board with Crouch again, as he's probably going to try to just keep their hopes alive here. Looks like they're going up 2-0 as long as they can kill this ball. Well done.
That has to be a little demoralizing to still not get any goals on the blue team. Only 0 shots that entire game. You got to feel like they're feeling very strong on defense right now. And Air Force 2 is going to be wondering how they can solve them, and they've got to not make any mistakes for the rest of the game.
0 shots on goal. That is, oh my goodness, that is a very telling stat. I didn't even realize that. What a big defensive effort here by Octakumi. They are playing, of course, a best of 5 here. One more game is going to put Octakumi into the round of 16, probably going up against Cosmic Aftershock. Might even get their test early on here.
And Octakumi proving that you really just need quality of shots, not quantity. Only 2 shots for them, but if one of them goes in, that's all that really matters. And that shot from Lolicon was so good that you got to feel like one of those might be enough to swing a game for us here.
Absolutely. Here we go with the kickoff. It's game 3. Octakumi up by 2 games in this best of 5. Dig Dog manages to get the kickoff. That was a terrible kickoff camera angle, and I apologize dearly for that, but I'll try some different stuff. Oh my goodness, the shot! Mecha off the assist from Crouch.
Is just a dagger in the heart of Air Force 2 to get scored on 9 seconds in when the contests have been so defensively minded. Just chaos off the kickoff, and sometimes that happens.
Looked like Timbob was maybe in position to defense that, but he just couldn't get there in time. Mecha grabs himself another goal.
And now we have to see Air Force 2 commit offensively. They can't let in any stupid goals that they could prevent, but at the same time, they've really got to play aggressively. They're down in the best of 3, and they're down in this match. So they have to come back right now.
And what's more, they are the ones who are pressured to figure out how to apply a better strategy here. I'll speak for myself here, I suppose. I was the one questioning Crouch's early approach with the basically all-time goalie set. But it looks like Mecha has been able to at least do enough work to put 1 goal on the board, which may very well be enough as Lolicon comes flying through as well.
Well, so far we haven't really seen any need for Octakumi to step up, because as long as they're saving every single shot that comes into the net and putting more goals on the opponent than they're getting on themselves, they don't need that extra person. They're proving that they can get it done 2v3.
Lolicon with a great shot. He's going to try to follow this up. He's the only one in the offensive zone, but it looks like Mecha's coming up now. He's going to grab this canister. Looks like, maybe a bad aerial, but Mecha, unfortunately, not in the greatest position and has to come back. They're forced to retreat, grab some boost, and try to reset for a better opportunity.
And so far we are just seeing back and forth, edge plays along the wall here. Not too many direct chances.
Dig Dog maybe got a shot on net there, but Crouch got in the place of it. Looks like these guys may be struggling a little bit to get it out of midfield here. Mecha's going to need some boost. They are in a nasty spot, but Timbob unfortunately does not get the hit he was looking for as Mecha going to try to play this up. We're going to hop on board with Timbob here again as he's forced to play some more defense. Goes over here to grab this canister. He knows he's got position on the ball. Unfortunately, not the greatest hop. Mecha's going to make him pay for it. You're going to get punished every time you're going to miss an opportunity like that, especially in your own corner.
Absolutely, and I know we've been giving a lot of credit to Blue's defense, but I have to say that Orange has not really been pressuring them with great shots. They have had 6 shots in that first game, or they had 6 saves in the first game, but they weren't that high quality. It's kind of quantity over quality. If they could get some high-quality shots, we'd really see Blue's defense being tested here.
You could see Lolicon frustrated with himself there. It looked like he had another opportunity to maybe give them a 2-goal cushion, actually, here in Game 3 with 2.5 minutes down. Would have really liked to put themselves in that position, but Mecha, Lolicon, and Crouch all here in the blue net. Air Force 2, oh my goodness, and Tibomb trying to go up in reverse, maybe looking for that bicycle hit, didn't quite get the hit he was looking for. We'll go ahead and jump on board with Dig Dog here again, who is in the defensive zone, trying to keep their hopes alive. Air Force 2 loses this game. They are going down. They've already lost 2 in this best of 5. Dig Dog trying to set it up again. Not quite that he was looking for there either. Timbob still playing in reverse. I don't know if he's trying to disrespect his opponents a little bit here, or if he just keeps getting turned around.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of disarray out of Air Force 2 right now, and you notice, they have 3 members all trying to hit the same ball. Lolicon just comes in and bashes it in over top of them, and that's how you use your resources properly. You get a chance to set up while the other team is running around a little bit confused and chaotic.
Timbob gets the aerial hit, but not quite in the direction he was going for. Unfortunately, another missed wall hit by Dig Dog. Lolicon puts it in the center. Mecha trying to get the angle, nearly gets it in. Another opportunity maybe squandered to get up to that 2-0 lead, but it looks like it may not matter as Crouch, again, just being that rock on defense that they need in this game.
And you really have to feel that if Octakumi makes it out of this round, they play against Cosmic Aftershock. Cosmic Aftershock might be a little bit scared. They want to get that first goal on the board, because if they go through this series without letting in a single goal, that's going to be a huge psychological edge for them. It's just a ton of confidence.
Dig Dog with a great defensive play, though, but again, they still just need something on offense. We're just over a minute to go here. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Not Valid. Doing everything he can here. Again, these guys just looking for any opportunity. They've yet to really get too many center balls, let alone shots on goal here, as they've just been getting defensively dominated here by Octakumi.
You have to feel like one goal is almost too much for them. They have not even had any defensive lapses that have come close here. They're just doing a great job of making it look like Orange is not really doing much offensively, but part of that is just their ability to clear the ball so effectively.
Oh, and Mecha maybe with the easiest layup of his life, but still the pressure is on as these guys are all fighting their little hearts out. Tim Bob goes up in the air again. Nothing gonna happen there. Let's go on board with Lolicon here. He's driving up the wall. 20 seconds left. These guys just... Oh, my goodness. Great aerial save there from Lolicon. Maybe keeping him out of position to put that one in. 10 seconds to go. Tim Bob off the wall. Crouches there for the clear, and that clear might do it.
It's going to be very hard for them to get that one back up. And you know what? All credit to Octakuni. They didn't lose focus for a minute. They did everything perfectly right down to the end.
Dig Dog trying his best to dribble, but Lolicon says no thank you. I would like to advance to the round of 16, and that will do it. A 3-0 clean sweep from Octakune.
Yeah, really well played from Octakune. That was really well done. One of the most offensively minded games I've seen in a long time. And to let 0 goals in on the entire series against a team as skilled as Air Force 2, that's got to be very impressive. And we will really see them tested in the next round.
Absolutely. What a great game. Good start.
Yeah, fantastic.
Very defensive-heavy game as well. That was surprising. Only I think it was 3 total goals scored through the entire series.
And Lolicon with that amazing goal in the second game to take it.
Oh, yeah, my goodness, that aerial was magnificent. Good stuff. Octakune takes the series. Amazing work, actually. Wow, I am impressed. Or sorry, Octakumi. There it is. Air Force 2 is knocked out. Well done. We're going to set up our next match here, guys. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and we will let you know when we've got our round of 16 matchup set. We will see you then.
See you then.
Welcome back, everybody. It's ESL Rocket League action. I'm BaerTaffy here with Northernlion. We're gonna get back into it.
Feels
real
good
soon.
to be back.
It does. I missed you for that brief intermission. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm excited for round 2. It looks like we're gonna be playing or watching Cosmic Aftershock versus Octakumi. So this is the match everybody wanted to see, I think, after that last one.
Absolutely. I think Octakumi has proven that they indeed do belong, at least with the competition that they've been presented with so far. We're hopping in, of course, Cosmic Aftershock. If you're not familiar, Cosmic Aftershock, they are probably the team to beat at the moment. Champions of the first 3 ESL Go4 tournaments here. And, of course, this is official ESL streaming that you got going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. You can go check out the bracket, of course, if somebody would be so kind as to link that in the chat as well. That would be really appreciated. We are into round of 16 action right now. We're going to be jumping on board with these guys really soon. In fact, I think everyone's in the match, and I think we're looking like we're probably good to go here, in fact.
All right, I will send the message to the players, and hopefully we'll be able to get started here. I'm excited. You know, round of 16, there's not too much time left before we really get down into the nitty-gritty, and I think we're ready to see some really good play here. Smart money has to be on Cosmic Aftershock if you were a betting man, but I'm really excited to see how that dedicated goalie strategy for Octakumi works out against some players that are a little bit more high-flying, acrobatic, and not to be rude to anybody else, but definitely skilled players who have proven it before.
Absolutely. I think we might see a little bit of that teamwork that Cosmic Aftershock has been so good at just honing down. I mean, they pull off these things that you wouldn't think human beings are capable of coordinating almost without speaking about it. But nonetheless, away we go. This is round of 16 action, Cosmic Aftershock versus Octakumi. Let's go and let's hop on board with Kronovi, everybody's fan favorite, to start this action off.
And Sad Jr. just dominant off the kickoff, gets possession, and that makes things so easy for them to get momentum right when the game gets started.
Lolicon with an early save. Looks like Octakumi's actually going to be able to get some offensive pressure here. Mecha nearly manages to just jump right over Kronovi to put that one in, but just comes up short off the crossbar. Sad Jr. with the aerial. Kronovi not quite with the angle he was looking for. Looks like they've got the pressure they want out of the gate right here as he grabs the canister. Gibbs coming up. Actually, Gibbs coming out of the net, so some really heavy early pressure. Maybe scouting out their opponents a little bit, seeing that these guys employ some pretty heavy defensive maneuvers. That there's the first goal on the game. Gibbs coming out of nowhere. There's the shot and the no ball cam aerial. You gotta love that.
We were just seeing Cosmic Aftershock do what Air Force 2 didn't. I mean, 50% of that play took place in the air. The ball didn't touch the ground for what felt like 30 seconds, and then that makes it so hard to reset defensively and to get ready for a shot that can come in from every angle. That just worked out perfectly for Cosmic Aftershock.
Jr. flying upside down off the wall, trying to get some ridiculous angles on here. Cosmic Aftershock going up 1-0. Haven't had to see Octakumi playing from behind yet, so we'll see how these guys adapt.
And this is a complete reversal from the last series where Octakumi didn't look different or like they were under pressure at all.
Oh my
Great
goodness.
shot.
Wow, Lolicon. Again, I love screaming that as loud as I can. Lolicon flying up here. Sad Jr. maybe missed a little bit, but he just got enough of it to put it right past Gibbs. A great angle on the aerial, and Lolicon evens it up.
And I think that is really important from a psychological standpoint. They're saying, you know, just because you got an early goal on us, that doesn't mean we don't deserve to be here. They beat, previous second-place finishers, so we got a game going here, and I'm excited to see it.
My goodness, Mecha nearly getting the shot he wanted. Gibbs with a miracle save. Mecha coming back here to grab some boost, and Gibbs sitting in the net again. Gibbs known a lot more for his ability to control the defensive side of the ball as opposed to his, fancy aerial flashes. But what a great setup there. Unfortunately, nobody there to follow it up. He's going to have to head all the way back.
Such a narrow window to get that ball in there, but they still got it. But all credit to Octakumi for getting that amazing save there twice in a row and not letting them get in the easy ones.
And that is amazing play right there from Lolicon. I got to call this out. You see Kronovi up there trying to set himself up as he's done so many times, but Lolicon knows the only way to contest that early on is to be up there on the wall with him and getting right in his face. Great play there.
Yeah, you have to feel if you let players like this do whatever they want, that's going to be bad for you. But if you can get up there and run some interference on them, show that you're not going to back down, that matters.
You got to think it's a little bit of an intimidation factor, too, that maybe even Octakumi is trying to show Cosmic Aftershock that they're not afraid to try to pull off the same sort of maneuvers. They're getting up there, they're flying around, they're doing everything they can to just hang in with these guys and keep the pressure on them just as much as they're trying to do the other way.
Oh, they're going toe-to-toe right now, and if you look at the stat sheet, Lolicon already 240 points, a goal, 3 saves, and that shot. The only shot that they have so far, but it worked out for them. He is definitely the MVP so far.
Lolicon apologizing to Mecha, who might have had the better angle there. We're going to hop on board with Crouch again, who's still playing that heavy defensive role. Sad Jr. and Kronovi right in front of your net. That's not the sight you want to see, but unfortunately, misses an easy opportunity. Sad Jr., maybe not the jump he was looking for, but Kronovi trying to keep it on their side. Lolicon shoots it out of the corner, but Sad Jr.'s there for the follow-up. Here's the body block. Sad Jr. nearly gets the set for Kronovi. This is a tight game. 2 minutes left, and we're knotted up at 1 still.
I don't even know what to say. You have to feel if you give Cosmic Aftershock too many chances, they're probably going to convert on them. But Cosmic Aftershock have to be feeling like they should have earned that 2-1 score. But it hasn't happened yet. A little bit of good play and some bad bounces for them. And we've still got a tie game here in the first game of the match.
I mean, we got to call attention to the stat sheet again. We've got 6 shots on goal for Kronovi with no goals. 4 shots for Gibbs, who's normally the defensive anchor. Sad Jr. maybe missing a couple of early opportunities here.
Yeah, 5 shots have gone off target. I mean, all credit to Octakumi for getting those 5 saves, but 5 shots off target, it's going to be tough to score on those unless you get a lucky deflection, but you have to feel that kind of offensive pressure is also going to really benefit them long term.
Sad Jr. running over here to grab this canister. He knows Crouch is going to be there for the reset, so he's trying to cut him off at midfield. Maybe going up for this aerial shot. There's a good angle. Sad Jr. puts the Cosmic Aftershock squad up 2-1.
As if they were listening to our commentary, he says, some of my shots are off target. How about you take a look at this one? Right over top. Sadly, we didn't quite get to see the replay, but perfectly crested over top of their backs there and got that in.
Here's Gibbs again. Gibbs also known for his ability to actually really dominate the kickoff as well. This guy manages to maintain possession in ways that I never would have thought of.
And when you have that kind of consistent kickoff strategy, it really helps out so much because the ball's always going where you want it to go right off the bat, and you're never playing off the back foot, which really helps when it comes to team positioning and organization. We're
going to hop on board with Lolicon here. He's trying to get some sort of desperate angle. These guys playing from behind again. We saw him quickly answer last time, but they got 40 seconds left to try to make a difference here. Lolicon avoiding that canister for boost. You got to think maybe he wanted to go for that in the opportunity, but Mecha may be able to make a play here as Gibbs coming up, flying around, but Crouch with the amazing play. Again, a moment where he recognizes the need for him to go up, and there's the follow-through. Crouch knotting it up at 2.
Now, we all know the detriment to having a dedicated goalie is that you don't get quite as much offensive punch until you pinch up, but Crouch showing the benefit here as Cosmic Aftershock without a goalie is unable to save that really, really nice bounce that Octakumi got there, and all of a sudden we're knotted up at 20 seconds left.
Surprisingly competitive play here from Octakumi as Cosmic Aftershock maybe getting a little caught off guard. They haven't really tried to, or they haven't really been challenged too much this early on in the tournament, so easy to say that they might be getting a little bit surprised here by Octakumi.
Absolutely, and you know, the real question for us was whether or not Octakumi was the real deal after taking out Air Force 2. Maybe Air Force 2 just stumbled or they were misplaying, but they're proving that they deserve to be here in this first game.
Kronovi and Sad Jr. nearly getting a set up there. Interesting kickoff there from Sad Jr. trying to maybe surprise the enemy kickoff and catch him off guard, but didn't quite work out. Hopping on board with Kronovi again. Setting some interesting angles here, but there's Mecha with the demolition. He says, "You're going to try to slow play me, boy, you're going to get smashed." Gibbs up there on the wall.
It's such a risk to do that, too, because you know, commit to the wreck, and if you miss, all of a sudden, they've got an extra player up, and you've got one less back to defend. But if you take them out, you get a little bit of momentum on your side.
Luckily worked out for him right there. Kronovi again trying some magnificent aerial stunts, not quite getting it. Crouch, of course, again, just ready and waiting. I don't think Crouch is going to be leaving this net during this entire overtime. I wouldn't be surprised to see him just stick it through there and never let anything by.
And with 5 saves, he's about to get his second save here if he can just pot one more.
Kronovi nearly gets another good angle. Sad Jr. and Kronovi here for the finish, but not quite the angle they were looking for as Gibbs tries a desperation move, but he doesn't quite get it. All 3 members of Cosmic Aftershock out of the goal right now. If Crouch can manage to get a really good clear here, they might have had an opportunity, and Gibbs realizes that immediately. They're getting some really good rotations here, making sure that everybody's covering everyone else.
Yeah, when Gibbs came through on that aerial attempt, it just left a little bit of a window for Octakumi to push forward, but luckily for Cosmic Aftershock, the ball didn't quite get over them, and now they've got sustained pressure.
Oh my god, wow, that was... I was wondering when somebody was going to try to make a play on that. It looked like everybody was waiting for the counter hit, but nobody really wanted to go for the initial strike, so Kronovi just tries something. Luckily, again, Crouch is in there to be that anchor. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Sad Jr. one more time, and he's going for this canister, trying to get this offensive zone established and trying to actually keep it away from Mecha, who's just being disruptive up there in the blue side of the net.
Just an unbelievable amount of control out of both teams. As soon as that ball goes into the air, somebody has eyes on it, somebody has designs for what they want to do, and that's really preventing any team from getting a great chance here in the last couple of minutes of overtime.
That right there, you gotta say, that's some amazing defensive aerial maneuvers by Kronovi as well. He saw that that clear was actually nearly on its way to the top right corner of the blue net, but unfortunately, Crouch just missed that opportunity. Oh my god, and look at these aerial pop-ups. You gotta think Kronovi's there, and there he is. Flying in and securing the win for Cosmic Aftershock. Challenged quite a bit here, though, in Game 1.
You have to feel when that alley-oop goes up there, somebody's going to dunk it in, and that's exactly what happened. Kronovi earning like 8 badges for that goal. Deserved every single one of them, especially after saving the game defensively there. But that was, like you said, a lot of pressure. But look at this, 22 shots.
That is just insane. Shots. That is alone a testament to the amount of defensive stature that Octakumi is bringing to the table right now. These guys, they know how to keep them in. They know how to keep themselves in the game. But I think maybe the offensive skills are a little bit lacking here. We're going to have to see them step it up a little bit. The bar has been raised beyond the need for only scoring 1 goal. You might have to put up a few more than that going up against Cosmic Aftershock.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be amazing to see how they respond after that. You know, that's got to be demoralizing. You tied it up. Many people probably didn't expect you to be here in the first place, but you've proven that you can hang. Now it's just up to you to keep it up, honestly. I don't think they're going to be happy just putting pressure on Cosmic Aftershock. I think they want to take a game from them.
We're going to go ahead and hop on board with Mecha here. Is doing some great work in the midfield, but hasn't really been quite able to establish anything as far as an actual offensive opportunity. Kronovi goes up there with the aerial. We have switched colors here. You got Cosmic Aftershock in the orange squad now, and Octakumi here in the blue. Mecha going up for an interesting angle there as well, but Lolicon's there to follow through as well. Gibbs trying to set it up in the corner now. Kronovi's waiting for it. He's got a side that he wants to hit, but he's not quite there for it.
And it'll be really interesting to see how this game looks right from the outset. We had an early goal from Cosmic Aftershock last time, and that kind of set the tone of the game as, you know, a little bit of a gunfight. There was something like 32 shots over the course of the entire game. Octakumi probably wants this to be a little bit more defensively minded, but I think they'll take it if they can get it.
And that's a big, big miss. I think Crouch came out of the net for just a moment here. I'm actually going to hop on board with Crouch's perspective. He is just caught completely out of position as Gibbs manages to bury it, and that's a 1-0 lead early on for Cosmic.
A really rare defensive misstep there that unfortunately led to a goal, but that happens in Rocket League. We saw it last game. Cosmic Aftershock with no goalie, unfortunately got a little bit of a lucky one scored on them.
Sad Jr., what an angle. You got to see this again. Sad Jr. just rolling it delicately off the corner with Kronovi's aid. Great teamwork and an amazing aerial. Nearly missed it, but just off the front of the bumper, he manages to put that one in. And Cosmic now looking like they've got their form back a bit.
And if you're Octakumi, you have to be thinking, don't panic, don't panic. You know, this is the same team you played in that first game. Just don't let your morale get too low. Don't let yourself make any rash decisions, and you can still come back from this.
Sad Jr. nearly gets that reverse hit into the net, but Lollicon's there to try to clear it out. We're going to hop on board with him here as well, as he's doing everything he can here. Coming back around the midfield, grab some boost, but he has to retreat again, as Sad Jr. is just doing such a great job of keeping the ball where it needs to be.
Yeah, we have not seen Octakumi be pressured to this extent. You know, they played down a little bit in the last game, but being down by 2 so early, it'll be interesting to see.
Oh, no. It will be interesting to see them maybe completely collapse in front of our eyes here as Crouch, unfortunately, gets caught out again. Kronovi, of course, he knows how to punish mistakes, and he will do it 99% of the time. Down 3-0 here now. I think Octakumi's really going to have to rally behind their initial strategy. I think they need to stick with what was working, because it was still working up against the Cosmic very early on here.
But it's so hard to do that. When you let in 3 goals in, you know, just over a minute and a half, you got to be thinking, you know, how do I adjust? How do I adjust? When really, you know, that defensive first strategy might work for them. Or maybe last game, you know, being able to save 15 out of 22 shots and have the other ones go off target was just a statistical anomaly, and we're kind of seeing a bit of a collapse here.
I think we might be witnessing that very thing. Sad Jr. just waiting for the moment to strike. He sees again Crouch just so ever slightly out of position, and he knows where he needs to put the ball to capitalize on that. We're going to watch Sad Jr. now right off the kickoff. I think we saw maybe a little bit of a teamwork strategy there off the kickoff previously, as Gibbs tried to set it off. Oh my goodness, plays by Gibbs as well. Great save to keep the goose egg up on the board for Octakumi. But they're trying to set up a play where they can knock it off to the side and have an immediate shot on goal from that side or midfield canister.
Oh, absolutely. And if you can get something on net that forces the goalie a little bit off balance, you know, knowing Crouch and the defensive mindedness of Octakumi, they're probably going to save it. But if they give you a juicy rebound or something like we saw in overtime, you know, Cosmic Aftershock is the kind of team that can capitalize on that for sure. Oh, man. Pardon
me for taking up the radio wheel there, as we nearly witnessed another amazing aerial blow by Cosmic. Lolicon trying to keep it up in the air. I think their only good opportunities thus far have come when they've managed to get a little bit of a team aerial juggle going. And that, of course, makes things very difficult to defense. But Gibbs has just, again, been on the spot as far as his ability to, like, read the field and be kind of a general practitioner of strategy. But there it is again. Kronovi putting Cosmic up big.
And now if you're Octakumi, you've got to be thinking, you know, just finish this game strong. The odds of you winning, it's not impossible, but it's not very good. If you can just get some moral victories close to the end, at least it puts you in a position where, you know you can be giant killers if you have to be giant killers. The series isn't over, even though this game might be, and, you know, you got to take what you can get from this one.
2 minutes to go here. We're going to have an eye on Crouch for a moment here. I'd like to see whether or not he's really adapted at all to the way that Cosmic has kind of figured out the approach here. Gibbs nearly with the beautiful dribble plays to try to carry it in. Sad Jr. keeping the pressure on, though, as there's Kronovi again. That's just maybe a little bit of a lack of control now on Octakumi. It doesn't seem like they're quite themselves anymore.
Yeah, you notice that when Gibbs dribbled in and just managed to kind of split the defense there, it feels like maybe they've abandoned the positional strategy that benefited them, and they seem like they're chasing a little bit, which is always a bad sign. In the end, it's probably not going to make much of a difference to a result, but it gets you into bad patterns that might be able to persist into the next game.
Oh, no.
That one is just demoralizing. Just an unbelievable shot to freeze the goalie. Tried for the save, but it's so hard on that.
When you're in position to try to make a play on the ball and it still just soars right over your head, you know that's a guy that's got just such a great understanding of how to nudge it just so to be able to put it where he wants it to go.
One of the things about Cosmic Aftershock is that they're able to create chances from almost anywhere on the field, as we've seen so far in this match. So you've got to be prepared at all times. And in a way, you know, if you're Octakumi, you want to play more defensively, but you have to get out there and score some goals eventually. But when they can score on you from midfield, it doesn't really matter, as we just saw.
I am thoroughly confused by this shot. You're going to see Crouch come up here and just go right through the ball on my perspective. I can't really explain that, but all the same, I think Gibbs unlocked that transparent ball hack that you get unlocked in level 80, so well done
the
for
pings
him.
are good, but I'll admit that on my screen at first, it was saved, but then during the replay, I guess it showed the true story there.
Completely different story, speaking of which, here with Cosmic Aftershock up 8-0 on Octakumi. Maybe playing a little bit of spoiler to their Cinderella story.
Yeah, but you have to remember, you know, an 8-0 win, or an 8-1 win, as we almost saw right there, it's just worth one win. That does mean that Octakumi is probably, unless they score 8 goals in the final 40 seconds here, they're going to need to win 3 in a row, which is looking increasingly unlikely, perhaps, but they do still mathematically have a chance, and it's going to be really interesting to see how they respond.
Now this is, I mean, tale of 2 games, honestly. Kronovi, I think, has just turned it on, though. This guy up here with 5 goals on 9 shots. Looking a lot more like it should have with those previous game statistics. Kronovi, though, lighting it up along with Sad Jr. up there on the offensive side of the ball.
Oh, absolutely.
What a great shot, though. Wow, Crouch managing to get their spirits back, perhaps. Let's have another look at that one from Crouch here. If I can manage to do it. Hold on, there we go. There's the angle. Crouch got a shot off the wall, I guess. Well done. Okay. Octakumi on the board.
A bit of lucky English on that ball. Really hugs the wall, and then it comes around and just gets potted in the side of the net. And honestly, you'll take what you can get at this point. If you're Octakumi, you have to be thinking, at least we have something, you know. Maybe they score that kind of goal first in the next run, and it puts Cosmic Aftershock on the back foot. Something to shake up the kind of equilibrium they've gotten themselves into here.
Absolutely. But again, you can just see a different sort of approach from these guys. They're starting to maybe feel the fear as Gibbs just comes in and destroys Crouch. Lolicon immediately there for the reset, but it doesn't matter. Kronovi with the aerial magnificence. Oh my goodness. Watch this again. Off the wall. Sad Jr. with the tip, and Kronovi upside down just buries it on the top side of the net. Absolutely amazing.
As graceful as a swan. That was beautiful. And that's his 6th goal of the match so far on 10 shots. Just a ridiculous performance here.
The double hat trick from Kronovi. I believe a playmaker there for Gibbs and Sad Jr. Great teamwork from Cosmic, and this is going to be an easy Game 2 victory. Only 1 win away from advancing to the round of 8, and these guys, they're looking more and more like they're going to be prone to do it. Kronovi nearly making it a 10-goal deficit again.
Absolutely no mercy from Cosmic Aftershock. They want to keep them demoralized as they head into the next game.
Well done by all there. We're going to go ahead and ready up for Game 3 here. We got the best of 5. 1 more win for Cosmic Aftershock, and they're moving on. But Octakumi, I think they want blood here. I think they're looking for a little bit of an improvement over that showing. These guys don't want to go down without swinging a little bit.
It would be huge for them if they could just get the first goal. I think, you know, it's a little bit demoralizing already to be down, and if you go down a goal, you start thinking, oh my god, is this going to be exactly the same as the last game? You know, that's humiliating.
Right.
But if you can get that first goal on there, you have a little bit more momentum, and then, you know, it's small victories. It's just making the smart plays when you have to make them, and then you've got a chance.
Great shot from Sad Jr. within 10 seconds here. He's flying up again off the top crossbar, but there's Gibbs following it up again. These guys, if they're not hitting the shots, they're setting up their teammates for some amazing opportunities.
And that Sad Jr. upside down corkscrew there was just amazing. Even if it didn't hit the net, like you said, off the backboard, Gibbs is able to knock it in off the one-timer, and that is just a beautiful, and you have to say well-earned 1-0 lead for Cosmic Aftershock there.
It's 10 seconds in. This is definitely not the start Octakumi was looking for here in Game 3. Hopefully they get some wind under their sails. Actually, let's go ahead and hop on board with Mecha here, who I think has kind of been the anchor offensively for these guys, trying to do everything he can to get in the midfield and maybe make some disruption plays to try to get the ball on the other side of the pitch. Sad Jr. again just contesting everything. Up on the walls, flying through the air, and there's Kronovi for the follow-through on the other side. Gibbs playing a little bit further back, maybe not there for the follow-through on the goal, but he's making plays all the same and keeping these guys in contest.
Yeah, and Kronovi running interference a little bit as soon as Octakumi has a little bit of offensive momentum. It ends up being squandered, and you know they're doing as much as they can right now. Cosmic Aftershock is just all over the field.
Kronovi making a play there, getting the center ball. Maybe not the angle he wanted, but still all the same. Gibbs, again, they're just making plays for their teammates. That's their best quality, I think. Is Sad Jr. with the assist to Gibbs. Just textbook.
What can you even say? This is just some of the most talented, skillful Rocket League out there. Look at the positioning from Sad Jr. And then Gibbs, a little bit understated relative to the past, but just puts it exactly where it needs to be. And Sad Jr. deserves as much of the credit as I can give for that play. That was incredible.
It's the difference between a group of 3 players and a team of just a solid unit that knows the strengths of the other teammates and knows how to capitalize on situations that they can benefit from. So Kronovi and Sad Jr. nearly always up there fighting for the ball in the offensive zone, but Gibbs just, again, ready and waiting in most opportunities to finish up what, well, I guess maybe act as a little bit of a janitor, cleaning up the pickings here.
I hear that's their internal code name for it. But you're right, it's just, you know, this is a team that has obviously played together a ton, and they have the confidence to know that if they, you know, do what they can do to the best of their abilities, their teammate is going to be there to finish it. Oh,
and Kronovi with just the dirty angle to put him up 3-0 here. Sliding around on his backside, now just realizes he's got the opportunity on the net. Crouch maybe not in position again. We're going to hop on board with Lolicon for a little while here. These guys down 3-0 in Game 3 of this best of 5 with 3 minutes to go. What do you think they need to do to turn this around?
You know, it's tough to say. I don't want to act like this one's already over, but we're seeing that Cosmic Aftershock is really just getting stronger the more and more they play. I think if Octakumi can get a cheap goal, you know, a grimy one, doesn't have to be super skillful, then they can start to at least entertain the idea of coming back. Like, that would have been perfect.
Nearly there from Mecha, yeah, trying to follow through on his own wall hit, but Kronovi's here. He's watching his opponent trying to counter hit and playing around it. Just amazing work all the way across the pitch. Just watch this. Sets up the easy ball. Sad Jr. there for the assist, and Kronovi is just ready and waiting with the side aerial to finish it off.
And it's so hard to defend those when they have the confidence to just knock it into the air wherever they want. If it never touches the ground, you don't get a chance to reset your positioning, and they get to dictate the course of play. And that's really what we're seeing, is just whatever Cosmic Aftershock wants to do, they're doing.
Crouch maybe getting a small moral victory there, winning the kickoff up against Gibbs, but Kronovi here again just punishing ever so simply the mistakes these guys are making. But Sad Jr., what do you do about that? Watch Crouch here. He's up here in the defensive zone. He's gotten the defensive move here as well, but Sad Jr. just waiting. He's just waiting there for it.
There's just too much pressure from Cosmic Aftershock right now. It forces Octakumi all back in their net. So, you know, as soon as they're all back, it makes it easy for Cosmic Aftershock to commit everybody forward, and then, you know, you can't sustain that kind of pressure for long.
All right, Lolicon and Mecha trying to make something happen. Let's see what they can do. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Mecha again. They got it over there, but as soon as I say it, of course, there's Gibbs making a play. Actually, Kronovi was the one clearing that ball out. Mecha trying to play it off the wall, but again, every shot contested. Kronovi flying over from the other side of the pitch just to be able to contest that on the wall. There's another hit out from Lolicon. Mecha maybe having an opportunity here, but not quite the angle. Gets over to the other corner. Sad Jr. on his back. They might have to capitalize on this, but Kronovi there to follow through.
We do have to give some credit to Octakumi for sure, not only in dismantling Air Force 2 in the last match, not even letting in a single goal, but Crouch, he's gotten a savior. He's got 3 saves already, trying to keep them in here, but really there's just nothing happening offensively, and that is going to make it really hard to overcome that 5-0 deficit with only 1:30 left.
Right there, a good block by Mecha, but unfortunately knocks the ball right back into his own zone with the follow-up. Here comes Crouch, though. Kronovi again, though, just waiting in the wings to be able to set up an aerial for himself or his teammates. Not able to really get a good angle on the ball from that position, but Sad Jr. and Gibbs here to control it again.
And we're just seeing such a well-balanced attack from Cosmic Aftershock as well. I mean, you know, everybody has a goal. Nobody has more than 2. Everybody has 3 to 4 shots. Like, they are playing extremely well-balanced right now. It's not one player dominating the game. This is really a team effort, and it shows in the results that they're getting right now.
Mecha grabs the canister. He's going all the way back with that boost, with leaving Lolicon alone here. You think maybe you got to be a little bit more aggressive. Down by 5. They got to take some chances now, or this is their life on the line.
Oh, yeah, and there's still, again, a mathematical chance. The odds are minuscule. We've seen it happen before, though, but every second that ticks by, you draw a little bit closer to death, and you got to be trying to pick up some victories, you know, to come back for next week's tournament.
Maybe trying to avoid another 10-goal deficit here in Game 3, but all the same, they're doing a lot of decent moves up here in the final 30 seconds. Here comes Lolicon trying to make a play off the wall, but again, actually, we're on board with Lolicon here. Crouch is the one coming out of the goal. This is finally the opportunity they've been looking for. They got some setups here. Mecha sets it up. Lolicon maybe coming around, but not nearly enough. This is going to be 3-0 in favor of Cosmic Aftershock. crouch awesome aerial there at the end. Thanks for the spectacle, buddy, but that's going to do it. Cosmic Aftershock 3-0 over Octakumi. What do you think? Final thoughts on this matchup?
All credit to Octakumi, especially in that last round matchup. And the first game here really made it seem, it went to overtime for like 2 minutes. It seemed like these teams were more evenly matched than people probably would have expected given Cosmic Aftershock's reputation. But they really started to click in the second game, and they showed why they're here. And I don't know what you do against a team that is clicking as well as Cosmic Aftershock is right now. They are just, completely in sync with one another. And it's going to be really interesting to see if they get faced with more competition as they move ahead in the bracket.
Absolutely. Cosmic Aftershock takes it 3-0, and they are on to the round of 8 here in the ESL Rocket League Go4 tournament. This is tournament number 4. Cosmic Aftershock definitely the team to beat as we move forward. Thank you guys very much for joining us here. We're going to take another break as we prepare for our next game here in the tournament. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, everybody, to ESL Rocket League tournament action. It is Go4 tournament number 4. I'm BaerTaffy here with Northernlion calling the action live. And next up, we got VQ Untethered versus Flamigos.
I'm excited. Stuff. Give Cosmic Aftershock a little bit of a break. Hopefully we'll be able to rejoin them later in the tournament. But we don't want to just follow them. We want to get a good feel for how things go in the other side of the bracket as well.
Absolutely. This is going to be good stuff. Untethered actually may not be a name you guys are as familiar with as Cosmic Aftershock, but you should be, as these guys are giving Cosmic a run for their money every chance they get. Lichinio, their captain, just a playmaker through and through, and the rest of the guys ain't too shabby either. Joining in up on the game now, waiting for the crews to get all prepped and set and ready to go. I'm aboard with that spectator cam, and we will be starting the action here momentarily. This is quarterfinals. Got VQ Untethered versus the Flamigos. Flamigos roster consists of Cyber Jesus, Ink Joker, and Legendary Seagull, all of which are names that are pleasing to the ear.
Fantastic. Little cellar doors there.
Mm-hmm. Should be starting up just a minute here. Actually, I think we are good to go if you want to give them that.
Oh, they have the signal. I'm sure they'll get started soon. Awesome. I just want to take a second to say thank you to Psyonix for adding the spectation mode in the most recent update to Rocket League. This has really helped out a lot and made casting like this possible. And we're really glad that they have an eye for competition like this. This is going to make it a lot easier to do stuff like this.
I like that word you used.
Spectation?
Spectation mode. That's fun.
Yeah, that's a new one. I'm an innovator in a lexicon type fashion.
Yep. All right, jumping in on the stream cam. Look at this. Look at this beautiful sunset over the Rocket League Cup. Oh, that is magnificent.
I like the spectacle of the night games. I do think that it provides the midnight sun illuminates the game in just a way that is cinematic, adds a lot of grandiosity to an event that doesn't necessarily need it, but benefits from it.
Personally, I prefer the spectation of Oh, damn it. I ruined it. I had it.
One of these days,
I was
going to
nail
right.
you. Oh. All right. They should be hopping in here soon. Predictions for this one. We got VQ Untethered, who have put up some really good results recently. In fact, got all the way to the finals up against Cosmic Aftershock in the previous tournament.
Well, I'm honestly just excited to see how things work. We've seen an offensive juggernaut. We've seen a defensive juggernaut. Now I'm excited to see which of these teams is hungrier and wants it more.
I think I'm going to go with Untethered here. I think the Flamigos definitely going to give them a run for their money. Again, though, you hit the nail on the head there. I think the most exciting element here is probably going to be maybe the change in playstyle. Maybe we see a little bit more freeform Rocket League here as opposed to the slightly more methodical approach employed by Octakumi, who are unfortunately
absolutely, and all credit to that side of the bracket, but it's going to be nice to get a feel for how things are going on the other side as well. And one of these teams could easily make it into the finals.
All right, looks like the players are jumping in here. We're going to go ahead and we'll hop on board with Lichinio, I think, here to start off with. We got Lichinio, Plutonium, Falcon, and Tank going up against Cyber Jesus, Legendary Seagull, and Shade Legacy. It's VQ Untethered going up against the Flamigos, and away we go.
And we have to give credit to Orange here. 100% team unity when it comes to their layouts for their cars. Already, I think that gives them a little bit of a competitive advantage.
Oh my god, I actually have to see that right now. Check out Shade Legacy's rocking the top hat rocket decals. We got Legendary Seagull with the same thing. Oh my goodness, look at these guys. That is just adorable.
They always say a team that sprays together stays together. And I'm talking about spray paint there exclusively.
Dude, they say that? I hope they don't say that.
They're going to start saying that now.
Plutonium Falcon with a good center ball. These guys all going all out here off the start. Lichinio trying to make some plays off the wall. Legendary Seagull manages to get a little bit of a backflip, but the VQ Untethered squad getting some good early pressure on here. Now Lichinio making a decent play, centering the ball again, but still being defense. Cyber Jesus playing a little bit of a defensive role here early on. Now we got Legendary Seagull trying to make a play around Lichinio there to at least knock it slightly off balance and keep him from trying to drive it right toward the net.
You'll notice a lot of confidence and bravado coming out from Blue right now. Able to get up there in the air, not necessarily 100% accuracy, but all you need to do is get one of those. A lucky bounce puts it right in front of the net for an obvious chance. Interesting
decision there by Shade Legacy to not actually try to follow up against that wall shot. Plutonium Falcon now going up. There's a decent angle. Comes off the ceiling, though. Not quite enough momentum on that one. Looks like a great shot from Shade Legacy to counter that, but immediately defense by Plutonium Falcon. Now we got Tank setting up the aerial. A nice attempt at the counter there, but unfortunately does not quite get the hit he wants.
Yeah, and Plutonium Falcon got really, really lucky with his positioning there. The ball came off the wall a little bit anemically, dropped in front of the net for a good chance, but he was in position despite not being in the net.
Lichinio is just flying around the map, grabbing every canister he can. A good play by Cyber Jesus to fake him out and get the ball in a good position. Comes off the corner, Seagull up in the air, but Plutonium Falcon beats him to it. Great position there on defense, and the aerials are on point so far for Untethered.
And that would have been an amazing chance there, just slightly off angle on an open net. That one is going to hurt if they end up going down.
Let's go ahead and hop on board with Tank for a little while here. Tank has been flying in when the opportunities are present. Legendary Seagull trying to dance around him a bit, but Tank isn't having it as Lichinio gets a good set. Tank with not just a little bit off. I think he might have had a shot there if he had gone maybe a little bit further off the back angle, but Tank still getting some good plays here. Oh my goodness, look at the save there by Falcon as well.
And I feel like we're getting like 90% of a goal on every single one of these chances, and it's just falling apart at the last second. That time, Shade Legacy with the big save to break it up.
Lichinio is right in front of the net, just missed that shot as well. Let's go ahead and hop on board with him again as Untethered. Not really able to do much. We got a bit of a deja vu occurrence here as VQ Untethered and Flamigos both unable to put a shot on goal, much less a goal on the board here in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, these are two teams that are definitely feeling each other out, like we saw in that Octakumi Air Force 2 game earlier. Hopefully we get a little bit more character here, a little bit more tone. But for right now, again, you have to feel like that first goal changes everything and will really define how they react to it.
We're gonna jump on now with Cyber Jesus now, who's got set position here with Legacy as well. Nice hit there by Legendary Seagull, trying to come up around the front end again, but Plutonium Falcon off the wall. Good shot, but Cyber Jesus there for the clear, and the follow-through, a great body block. Gets him in the corner now, Cyber Jesus. Oh, a big miss! Cyber Jesus has to capitalize! There's the goal from Shade Legacy. Not the prettiest, but they'll take it. They clean up on the disastrous attempts at aerial defense there from VQ Untethered.
Big mistake, but, you know, as is typical of this game, it almost found a way to come out of the net at the last minute. Shade Legacy came in, but unfortunately, unfortunately for them, that's actually going to end up being a goal regardless.
And that is an early 1-0 lead here for Flamigos. They got 1:21 left on the clock. Lichinio can't quite get it! I think that was actually an assist there. Lichinio maybe puts the ball in the net for him. Let's see this one. Oh, no, they don't want... All right, he's too ashamed of it.
I wouldn't want to see that one again either, so I don't necessarily blame them. But this is what happens sometimes. You know, the game stays deadlocked for 3 or 4 minutes, and then all of a sudden, it's just a flurry of goals that come after that. The only question is whether it's going to be all in one direction.
Absolutely. Lichinio looks like he's maybe got a vendetta now. He's going to make up for that mistake. Down 2 with just a minute on the clock. Flamigos looking like they're a strong presence here.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, no matter how this game goes, it doesn't look like it's going to end 10-0. I think we definitely have a series on our hands. All
right, Lichinio with a good opportunity. A great shot on goal. I don't know if they'll be back in time. Great shot by Lichinio, and that may be enough of a spark with 47 seconds to go. Let's watch him again. Just flawless execution there. Sees the open net. Makes him pay for it.
You have to feel maybe a little bit of miscommunication there. Cyber Jesus kind of out by the boost canisters, hoping to pick up a little bit of extra speed, and nobody's in net. And when you can make something from nothing, oftentimes that can lead to that.
I think the synchronicity of Flamigos' cars is definitely going to be the edge until Plutonium Falcon comes flying in. What a shot here.
And like we were saying, that's 4 goals now in the course of about a minute and a half, and we're all tied up again. Plutonium Falcon, just a
that is an outrageous angle. I am mad at him for scoring that goal. That is ridiculous.
not only great positioning, which is so hard, but he kept the speed on the ball. We saw in that first goal that it kind of was a little bit slow, just kind of dribbled into the net. That one was smashed home, no chance for a save at all.
Looks like Untethered maybe finding their groove here against Flamigos as Legendary Seagull manages to get a good clear. We're all knotted up at 2 now, 20 seconds to go. Let's see if these guys maybe play a little bit more conservative here and hope for overtime.
Yeah, this will be the second overtime match that we saw. Cosmic Aftershock and Octakumi gave us a great show in the first game of their best of 5. But
amazing
so
defense by Tank. We got to hop on board with him for that one. Looks like this is probably going to hit the ground, although they're trying to keep it up a little bit. No, we're going to overtime, baby. All right, we're staying on with Tank for the kickoff. Let's see what he's got.
Absolutely just saved the game right there. And, you know, if you gave me that shot 9 out of 10 times, I would think that it would go in 9 out of 10 times.
Tank coming around, grabs the canister in the corner. Lichinio quickly ends the overtime. Let's go ahead and hop on board with him to see this one. What a shot by Lichinio here, and there is the first victory for VQ Untethered. Just buries it in the corner, right past 2 defenders. Impressive
Great shot,
play.
a little bit of a missed opportunity, I think, for the save, but that all comes down to Untethered actually having the wherewithal and the focus to save that goal in the final 5 seconds of the game that allowed them to get to overtime, and now they're rewarded with a win. They've got a 1-game advantage in the best of 5, and we'll see how Flamigos chooses to respond in the next game.
I think Lichinio easily making up for a small mistake there, scoring the winning goal, but you got to give a lot of credit to Tank as well for making that amazing defensive stop right there before the overtime period.
Yeah, without that, you know, this game would have been 1-0 in the other direction, and that changes so much of how you approach this for game 2.
Hopping on board here now. Shade Legacy manages to get the first touch off the tip-off. A decent center there. They weren't quite ready for that so soon off the kickoff. Legendary Seagull getting a good center ball and also using his body to keep it in the center, but unfortunately, Shade Legacy is the only one left back. He jumps out. Seagull's going to have to make a play. Oh, wow, an interesting aerial there from Plutonium Falcon, and there's the follow-through. There's Tank on the goal, and Untethered goes up 1 early.
Yeah, just a little bit of uncharacteristic defensive lapses there. They had a lot of good chances to knock it out, but, you know, Cyber Jesus and Legendary Seagull kind of had their feet tied together there in the goal, and he just split the difference and managed to pot 1 early here.
A lot of confusion there. We're not seeing as much. Oh, interesting kickoff as well. That's going to be a shot on goal for Legendary Seagull, but fortunately, not quite enough on it. Tank and Seagull, though, maybe not really quite as familiar with one another as some of the other teams in this tournament. Not really communicating well and understanding the positions that need to be established there to defend that shot.
And you know, this might be the biggest game that this team has played in over the past several weeks, so, you know, communication lapses can happen. This is a big game, and they're playing against a team that's obviously in it to win it as well.
Ooh, brilliant center, but Lichinio a little bit too eager to go up in the air for that one. It comes up a little short. He's going to come back around here now, though. Another great aerial opportunity, but unfortunately for him, Shade Legacy is there to clear it out. VQ Untethered, though, doing a much better job here in Game 2 of keeping control on the other side of the pitch.
Oh, absolutely. And if you can keep that pressure on, you're going to score. You know, we saw it in that first game of the last series. 22 shots on net. Some of those are going to go in. It's almost an inevitability no matter how good your defense is.
The control over his vehicle here. Amazing defense from Shade Legacy. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Flamigos again. But the level of control over the car you're seeing, amazing shot. I'm going to keep getting cut off because these guys just keep on pulling stunt after stunt. Let's get on board with the Plutonium Falcon for this replay. That is an incredible display right there.
Just the thinnest of windows, and we saw him make that exact same shot last game, only he chose to do it with an aileron roll instead of that front flip there, but just a thin sliver of light, and he puts it home, and he puts it home with authority. Even if there was someone there to stop it, I don't think they would have been able to.
Plutonium Falcon turning on a dime to get this boost, and he nearly double taps it in, but it looks like, oh no, a misstep. Both Lichinio and Tank get caught up in midfield. What looked like it might have been an easy goal turns into, unfortunately, possession for Flamigos as they're now trying to punish VQ Untethered for maybe a little bit of a mistake.
And Plutonium Falcon is just all over the field right now. He's not letting that ball drop in front of his net. He's going up on the wall behind his net, off in the corners, and making sure that they keep possession.
Amazing shot. Just purely inconceivable. Look at this angle he's getting up here. He's going to fly up, but just nudge it right off the ground, and there's nothing that Flamigos can do about that.
Yeah, when you bounce the ball over your opponent, they've already committed to trying to stop that low shot most of the time, and it is impossible to get back up.
We're on board with Cyber Jesus now, who's grabbed the canister. He's got full boost, and he's just waiting for his opportunity. He sees Lichinio trying to set up a nasty little aerial. A great bounce, actually, but unfortunately, Tank wasn't able to follow through with it. Another great setup from Plutonium Falcon, but unfortunately, these bounces are not going in their favor. Tank
we saw a little bit
save.
of sad juniorism there from Tank.
Yeah.
Goes up, does a double backflip into a corkscrew McTwist, and manages to put himself almost in the breadth of the goal.
Lichinio gets another savior under his belt, and Cyber Jesus is trying to keep things on the orange side of the net. Looks like Plutonium Falcon, though, going up in the air. Here's an opportunity. Misses, though, as the aerial just comes up short for Cyber Jesus.
And it seems like it's slowing down a little bit, which is probably what Orange wants right now. You know, if they can keep the pressure on, that shows exactly that I don't know what I'm talking about.
We gotta watch this from Tank's perspective. Check this out. Going up on the wall, setting it down for his teammate, and Lichinio finishes it off with his shot. That is just impeccable teamwork, and that's something I've actually seen a lot more from the top-ranked players. They're not satisfied with just letting the bounce go down. Oh my god.
That is just... it's unfortunate, but at the same time, if you look at Shade Legacy, he was kind of caught unaware. You know, he was in the air when the ball came back, maybe just warming his fingers up or something.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, he was on the back of the goal.
He was, yeah. Cyber Jesus completely missed the kickoff as well. That's a goal that you don't want to let through here at this stage of the game. 5-0 lead.
Like a huge defensive misstep, especially when they've mostly been in the game in spite of the scoreline.
Here comes Lichinio again. He nearly gets the angle he wants, but Plutonium Falcon tries to center it again. Let's hop on board with him one more time. Again, all over the court here as he has just made Flamigos' lives a living hell through this match.
Oh, absolutely. And again, we're seeing pretty much the same story we saw in the last match. We had an overtime game, followed by a little bit of a blowout here. So really, it comes down to Game 3. If they can get themselves grouped together, assuming they don't win this one, and come back, you know, if you take that game, anything can happen over the course of the series. But you have to be feeling very, very confident if you're the other team right now.
Seems the game ones for these top-tier teams, they're really just trying to figure out what works the best against their opponents. And once they do that, they just execute to finality. It is impressive to watch.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, nobody wants to let in that first goal 10 seconds into the game by taking a really aggressive approach. But once you get your sea legs under you, you're not afraid to do a little bit of acrobatics. That's usually when those chances are going to be created, either on a miss or on a successful hit.
I'm going to hop on board with Legendary Seagull for the final 50 seconds of this one. Oh my goodness, but that's a mistake that I made because Plutonium Falcon is still just putting on a show.
And he has really stepped in here and dominated this one. Again, just the speed on this shot. Shade Legacy, you know, made a little bit of a positional misplay, thinking that probably wouldn't come into the net as hard as it did, but all credit to Plutonium Falcon on that one for smashing it home as he has done all series so far.
And maybe giving a little bit of credibility again to Crouch, whose nearly all-time goalie setup was maybe the only thing that was preventing those sorts of goals from happening.
Oh, it's true. You lose a little bit of offensive punch, and you probably have to, you know, rely on your front two players a little bit more. But at the same time, it pretty much eliminates the risk of easy goals like that going in. But it's definitely a give and take. I know a lot of teams don't run that strat.
Oh, he nearly got the defense on that, but Tank does manage to put it in. But again, just look at the level of control here from Plutonium, who got the shot off the wall. A good finish from Tank. Shade Legacy nearly there for the defense, but that is going to be a 7-0 lead now for Tethered, who just look like they are indeed untethered.
Yeah, and you have to feel for Shade Legacy a little bit here. He's been a little bit left out to dry on a couple. Maybe he let in a few softies, but when it's 7-0, that represents something that the team needs to work on. It's not any individual failure or anything like that, so they will really need to buckle down, especially defensively if they're going to come back in the next game.
On board here with Shade now. This is going to look like a 2-0 lead in the series for VQ Untethered. 7-0 here in this one. But I still think these guys have got they've got a competitive edge here that they're not showcasing as much here in Game 2. We saw a lot of really hardy competition in Game 1. You got, looks like 9 total shots on goal, so not nearly the level of domination we saw from Cosmic Aftershock against their previous opponent, but still, I think we've got a pretty even matchup going into Game 3.
I hope so. You hate to see a second round blowout followed by a third round blowout, but it really depends on, you know, whether this team thinks it can win, and also whether Untethered falls back on its laurels a little bit, thinking that it's in a position that's basically unlosable. But, you know, they have to come out here with some speed, they have to come out here and get possession, and they have to dictate the pace of this game, because if it spends all its time in the defensive zone, if the ball's always on their goalie, they're going to let in goals, as we saw last game.
0-0, of course, here now with an early goal from Tank. What an angle. Oh, my goodness. I wanted to try to give them the hope of a fresh start, but Tank is not having it. Watch him coming around here. Doesn't even see the ball. Just a blind shot, knowing his teammates are going to set him up. Or it was just complete luck. I don't know. Either way, a 1-0 lead here early on for Untethered.
And one thing's for sure, if you're Flamigos, that is exactly what you can have happen. A goal in the first 15 seconds, you just spent 5 minutes playing down, and all of a sudden you're down again. It's just demoralizing, you know. You lose your will to play.
Look at Lichinio and Plutonium Falcon. These two guys, oh my goodness. Now this is just pure teamwork right from the get-go. Watch Falcon set this up from Lichinio's assist, and Tank finishes it off.
Yep. Possible that it would have gone in without it, but that deflection there makes it just a sealed deal. There's no way the defense can prepare for that, and we are just seeing a dominant offensive performance right here. Not over yet, but certainly that has to be demoralizing.
I think VQ Untethered has just recognized the flaws in Flamigos' approach to defense. Lichinio setting up another center ball. Just domination at this stage. Wow.
And Plutonium Falcon continues to hit these shots that are almost impossible. You know, he's got a little window in the 3 dimensions here, but he knocks it home. Lichinio, enough attention to detail to get out of the way and not stop his team's march to momentum here.
Now we're going to hop on board with Legendary Seagull here. I think what's kind of killing these guys is, again, it's just an issue of being a little bit too afraid to contest the ball at the point of entry.
Yeah, you know, it's easy to get kind of in a turtle strategy once you go down a little bit. You want to play defensive so you can stop the bleeding a little bit. But if you've got 2 people kind of standing still in your net, it's very, very difficult to get a save, even though it sounds counterintuitive. It's even more difficult to get a goal, which is really what they need right now more than anything. But first, they've got to get some possession.
Oh, Shade Legacy just with a great assist to Lichinio for his own net. We got to watch this one from his perspective. Unfortunate hit there, but Lichinio is just waiting for that mistake.
And as bad as that pass is, obviously, to pass it right in front of your net, you know, it was a desperation move to try to get it out. All credit to Lichinio for being there in the first place, expecting that something like that could happen, and he's the benefactor for that for sure.
Staying on board here with Shade, who actually seems to be intentionally hitting the ball toward his own net some of these times. There's the canister grab, though. Oh, but Lichinio just such excellent control, but Legendary Seagull luckily there to bail him out. Falcon now kind of playing the waiting game, seeing what Seagull's going to do. Shade Jesus still just doing everything Shade is still back here trying to do anything he can in the defensive zone to keep these guys at least at bay temporarily. An off-the-wall hit, a good pass to Cyber Jesus, who tries to bring it up.
And Cyber Jesus is still keeping them in here. He just made an awesome save, keep it from going 5-0. You know, there's still more than half of the game left. If they can score 4 goals in 2 minutes, you can score 4 goals in 3 minutes. But you gotta get one out there soon.
You see this dribble from Plutonium Falcon. This is the kind of thing that, if done well, is very difficult to play against. See him carrying the ball up on top of the car just a little bit and then going for that double hop right away to try to get it right past the single defender. And so far, it's been working really well to set him up for good goals.
Oh, absolutely. If you can dribble past one defender, you're already halfway towards a goal as far as I'm concerned. It puts them so out of position defensively.
Let's go ahead and get on with Tank here again, who is keeping the ball in orange zone. Seagull, though, with a great hit. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Flamigos again. They've got a great opportunity here. Almost put in from Cyber Jesus. Seagull, unfortunately, out of boost in that situation. Didn't really have many opportunities to get back up and go again. Tank is maybe punishing him. Oh, no, Seagull.
Oh, it was a good attempt. You know, when you're not getting many chances, you really have to go for broke. It's unfortunate that that shot didn't land on target, and then, you know, once this happened, you've already gone all in, and
you gotta commit.
There's pretty much no defending that.
Yeah. All right, Tank with a kickoff victory here against Seagull. Let's see if Flamigos got anything left in the tank. That was just, oh man, I didn't even mean to say it like that. That's so brilliant. I'm a great commentator. Good shot from Seagull, though. Nearly puts him on the board. Good defense there, though, by Untethered to keep that goose egg up there again. Lichinio with a nice clear. Plutonium Falcon trying to disrupt the Flamigos squad. Not quite getting it, though. Let's hop on board with Shade Legacy, who's getting up in the air. Almost got the angle into the top corner of the net. Seagull with the follow-up, though, and Falcon is just everywhere he needs to be, playing that disruptor and getting the ball out of their zone.
And it seems like we might be witnessing the emergence of a pattern here. It seems like the first game, the teams are feeling each other out, like we've said multiple times throughout the show so far. But then, once one team has momentum, they just do not take the pressure off. And it'll be interesting to see if that continues throughout the tournament here.
Oh my goodness, Lichinio. Okay. take this from step one. Lichinio with the multi-tap aerial. Comes back around, gets another hit right underneath Legendary Seagull and puts it in. That's some next level play.
And then just taking a sharp right turn afterwards. You don't even need to look at that goal. You know it's going in.
Lichinio's grabbed himself a canister here. We got a minute 23. BQ Untethered in a very comfortable spot here against Flamigos. Still, I'm so shocked by the outcomes here with these game ones. It's just turned around on a dime. The ability of these players just not able to compete anymore.
I think it really goes to show, how much your game can change. I wouldn't be surprised if this game would look differently right now if Flamigos had taken game one. It changes the way you play. It changes your mindset. It changes your confidence.
Falcon there for the easy tip in 7-0 with a minute to go here. VQ Untethered, again, just looking very comfortable. And Plutonium Falcon is carrying just the stalwart weight of amazing players. Oh, but Cyber Jesus, nice hit. Tanks there for the defense. Cyber Jesus maintaining control. Plutonium Falcon misses a little bit. Luckily, doesn't have to get punished too hard. Cyber Jesus hitting it right into the net.
No. And there is finally a goal that I do not have to give Plutonium Falcon a pat on the back for. Just happened to be the lucky person who touched the ball last, and this one gets bounced maybe a little bit intentionally into their own net. Having some fun with the game.
I like that.
You got to find small victories in a situation like this, I think.
Of course. 42 seconds to go here. Looks like Flamigos have maybe accepted their fate to a small extent, but Plutonium Falcon says the game ain't over yet, and I've got stats to pad, boy. Chinio with another shot on goal.
He's got the most valuable player of the tournament award, but he's going to have some hard teams to get through in the next round for sure.
Of course. Oh, Plutonium Falcon, great defense there. Again, Legendary Seagull trying to come around the other side. Let's jump on board with him. Canister there, but he passes it up. Lichinio with just the lob shot. The gentle love taps to go right in the net.
And the score
brutal.
From beyond the grave. Lichinio, that's actually the third hat trick for the team. They've spread the goals around evenly. Almost the same number of shots, almost the same number of assists. We've been giving Plutonium Falcon a lot of credit here, but this is a true team effort, and the statistics sheet definitely shows that.
Absolutely. Completely balanced on the score line there as well. These guys all making amazing contributions to this team. BQ Untethered trying to make it 10, and they do.
And again, I know that at 10-0 it probably doesn't even bear mentioning, but just a nice, delicate shot. Had to hit it with just the right purpose here, especially coming off of driving on his teammate's back, but just does it with authority at a huge angle, but just getting the wherewithal to hit that in the right direction is hard in that situation.
I think that's by design. It's got to be by design, right? The off the teammate's back shot. That's a classic.
Well, that's something I'm hoping I'm going to see a little bit more throughout the tournament because that was awesome.
All right. VQ Untethered has taken the 3-0 clean sweep over Flamigos. Amazing display there. I got to say, Plutonium Falcon has really impressed me in this series.
Oh, absolutely. And VG Untethered, they had a dominant performance. They won the second game with authority, and they won the third game with even more authority. The first game, they had to have focus until the very last minute in order to win that. I'd be really interested to see an alternate dimension where Flamigos actually managed to score with the final 5 seconds left in that first game and see how the series panned out. But, that's for the post-mortem for Flamigos to do in their clubhouse.
I would be interested in an alternate dimension where Flamingos play Rocket League.
That would also be remarkable. Mm-hmm. You know what? I like Flamigos' chances against literal flamingos. I think that one would probably turn out to be a little bit of a wash for them.
ESL Rocket League action coming at you. We got the semi-final round coming up next. Not exactly sure which match we're going to be seeing there, but I'm sure it's going to be a doozy. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back shortly. Apparently, they're doing another game for fun, but I'm going to back out of that. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back very soon with the next match, ESL Rocket League action. Welcome back, everybody, to ESL Rocket League North America Cup number 4. I am Bear, joined by Northernlion.
Exciting stuff. We're already into the semifinals.
Yeah, man. It's going to get real in just a moment. We're going to be jumping on board with Cosmic Aftershock again, going up against Propulsion. Propulsion Wigbat, I should say. Or the composition of Elmer Fudd, Fun Dip, and Go and Get It. These guys have battled all the way through to the semifinals. Beating pretty damn good teams on the way there as well. Toxic Taters were the ones that knocked out Force It In very early on in the tournament. And then Goodfellas FC Probably provided some very interesting quarterfinal matchups there. So these guys, they've come through a lot, and they're ready to take on the champions here in Cosmic Aftershock. What do you think about this one?
I'm really excited to see how this one works out. I mean, obviously, whatever team wins here deserves to be in the finals. Cosmic Aftershock has proved it time and time again, especially in the last match. If Propulsion Wigbat can pull off the upset here, I'd be really interested to see what they can do. And we should point out we're going to be casting the other side of the bracket as well, so we will be able to see all of the semifinals games and really get a feel for how, all four of these teams that are coming into this feel and how they match up against one another.
That's right. Starting off, though, of course, with this Cosmic Aftershock versus Propulsion Wigbat. That's again, just these names. I love them. Keep them up. keep these names coming. All right, we are getting set and ready to go. The players are jumping into the game. Again, this is going to be best of 5. We got best of 5 all the way through up until the finals of this tournament, which will be a best of 7. So, nearly ready here. We're going to go ahead and jump onto your spectator cam and should be seeing these guys hop in soon. I'm going to go ahead and make a bold prediction here. I think Cosmic Aftershocks are going to go ahead and take this and move their way into the finals.
I'm going to make a very sensible prediction, and I'm going to say that whatever team takes the first game is going to take it all.
Ooh.
It's a shame that we've seen only 3-0 so far. I'd love to see a game that went, or a match that went 3-1 or even 3-2, but that's up to the competitors. They have to show that they can compete well with one another, and here we go.
Oh, yep, on the way. All right, a little bit of a connection issue there, but we are on board now. It's Cosmic Aftershock taking on Propulsion Wigbat here in the semifinals. You got Go and Get It, you got Elmer Fudd, and you got Fun Dip. We're going to jump on board with Elmer Fudd rocking the crown here to start things off. He's got himself a canister up in his corner. He's going to go up in the air to meet Sad Jr., who's got a better angle. Puts it up, but a nice defensive play there from Fun Dip to clear it out. Now Elmer Fudd in the orange zone, but not really in the position he needed, as Gibbs almost got a shot on goal there, but Fun Dip again in the spot he needs to be, but Kronovi with the drill. Look at this shot from Kronovi. Comes all the way flying in. He pushes this down with the nose of the car and just forces it into the net. Great stuff there from Cosmic Aftershock, going up early 1-0 here against Propulsion Wigbat.
And right from the moment that Cosmic Aftershock was able to put it in there, it didn't seem like something was right with Propulsion Wigbat's defense. We had, 2 defenders coming into the ball at the same time, leaving a big space in front of the net, and Kronovi just, does what Kronovi does. He pops it in there for an easy 1-0 goal.
Very good setup. Speaking of Kronovi doing Kronovi things, managing to aerial it right into the wall, setting himself up for a good play. Sad Jr. unfortunately didn't have the angle and managed to miss what was almost a gimme, but Gibbs comes flying through and keeps it in the blue zone. Elmer Fudd with great defense there, but Kronovi again just looking for all the opportunities. Let's hop on board with Gibbs real quick here. He's grabbed the canister, coming through in the defensive side. Fun Dip again just flying all around. Elmer Fudd sitting in the net. Looks like Cosmic Aftershock definitely has the pressure here in the first minute and a half.
Yeah, a lot of dangerous situations have shown up for Propulsion Wigbat so far, but in the early game, they were able to get some decent chances on Cosmic Aftershock. Hopefully they can get back to what was working for them in the first 30 or 45 seconds before that first goal went in. But I'm not liking what I'm seeing on the defense. A lot of, double hitting, 2 teammates going for the same ball. A little bit more communication would probably help out there and let them be more organized going forward.
And Elmer Fudd manages to smack it back with the reverse side of his car, as Kronovi thought maybe he was going to be able to cut him off, but Elmer definitely pulled a fast one on him there, grabbing his own canister, coming back around to the corner. They've been caught in this corner quite a bit of the game so far, and Sad Jr. knows how to position on there and make them pay for that, but unfortunately haven't quite gotten as many opportunities as they thought they would up to this point. Now Fun Dip trying to play around a little bit. A great angle, and there's the finish. Elmer Fudd and Fun Dip with an amazing teamwork, display of teamwork there to put that goal in.
Yeah, I don't know if Fun Dip was intending to miss there or intending to put that right on the net, but either way, it worked out fantastically. And just an amazing goal there to sneak it past the defense of Cosmic Aftershock, and we've got a real game here.
I'm on board with Fun Dip, who's rocking quite the interesting field of view and camera distance combo. This guy looks like he's playing with a little RC car here. This is great.
I guess if you're going up to fly, it's good to get that angle on the ball, but man, you cannot leave Cosmic Aftershock with an opportunity like that.
Well, unfortunately for them, that was 2 guys going up for the aerial who both missed out on it, but going and get it, caught in the back of the net, and Gibbs punishes him very easily, going up 2-1 for Cosmic Aftershock.
And what we're seeing a lot of from Cosmic Aftershock is having 2 people forward to be dedicated attackers once the ball enters the enemy zone, and then somebody hangs back, and if the other team has a goalie that stays in net, that gives them the ability to keep the pressure on, and pretty much none of that mattered there.
Kronovi doing Kronovi things again. Watch this coming off the corner, and how do you predict that? That's just unbelievable. What a shot from Kurnovi. Cosmic Aftershock with 3 goals here in the first half of this game. Let's see if they can keep up the pace.
Yeah, it looks like they did not like getting that goal scored on them, which you'd probably expect. And man, they are getting some really good offensive chances and making something from nothing, which makes it impossible for you to ever feel comfortable when you're on defense.
Fundib already with the Savior medal. That gives you an indication of just how much pressure Cosmic Aftershock is putting on right now. They are laying the hammer down. Watch Sad Jr. come around from this backflip shot off of Kurnovi's bicycle kick. Gets one of his own, actually, and that is just filthy.
And that's a goal you see time and time again in Rocket League from a defensive standpoint. You know, the ball's coming off the wall at a weird angle. You want to get in there to deflect it, but you don't want to push it in front of your goalie. That lets the offensive team take a little bit more control with it, and there you go. It's just an easy goal.
Fundib doing a little bit of the boost dance, trying to get around here. Missed a canister, so he's looking for a good boost grab, but might have gotten caught on the top crossbar there. At Sad Jr. had a little bit more of an angle on the ball. Elmer Fudd misses the open shot in the midfield. Now Fundib off the corner. Maybe Elmer's there again, but oh no, a missed opportunity. You got to be in position there, I think. Elmer Fudd maybe missed a chance to close the gap down to 2.
And Propulsion, I think, had a really good opportunity to keep possession in the offensive zone there, let it slip away, and unfortunately that's not the kind of thing you can afford to do at all, but especially when you're down. When they've actually had possession in the offensive zone, they've looked good, they've looked creative, and you know, they scored that beautiful goal earlier off the one-timer off the backboard, but they're going to need to do more of that in Game 1 and maybe Game 2 and onwards if they can hope to get out of this.
Sad Jr. and Kurnovi both missing in the corner, but oh no, this is just the amount of aerials that are resulting in complete whiffs here right in front of the net for Propulsion. Definitely not the start they're looking for here in Game 1.
Yeah, you know, when we watched Octakumi back in the round of 16, what they really had going for them defensively was that their goalie wasn't afraid to smash it out and clear it, and that gives you a great little bit of momentum on offensive plays. Here, we're seeing them just kind of jump up in the air. They're hoping for the save. They're not really worried about what comes after, and obviously, that's a big part of it, is when people like Sad Jr. can just score a goal on you easily, you have to be ready. But at the same time, if your goalie, you know, isn't able to clear it for you, it's going to be really tough to get any offense going. Now,
what set this up as well is just amazing midfield control from Gibbs. Again, I'm going to sing this guy's praises throughout the entire tournament, I'm sure, but he is just such a master of controlling the pace of the ball and the momentum of basically every person on the pitch, in that he keeps it where it needs to be. Set Sad Jr. up for an amazing goal there. Up 5-1 is Cosmic Aftershock. Looks like they're going to be taking this Game 1 to go up 1-0 in the best-of-5 series here in the semifinals. But let's see if maybe Propulsion can do a little bit of damage here. We've seen it from them. We've seen the setups, but they gotta execute a little bit more here.
I really feel like, again, it's tough when you're down to be more aggressive on defense, but I think that would help them out so much to be able to knock the ball over a couple of attackers and then, you know, come through on a little bit of a breakaway like we're seeing right here.
Oh, wow. Nice defensive play there from Gibbs. I can't even imagine how he actually managed to get that. Looks like he just jumped straight up, and that's going to be another goal. Almost in.
Saved by the bell.
Cosmic Aftershock. Only 11 shots on goal this time, so not nearly as dominant, but we definitely got a match on our hands that may be a little one-sided. Let's see if Propulsion Wigbat can turn it around here in Game 2. Fundib with 3 saves, getting that Savior medal, but they need to be a little bit more aggressive coming up here on offense. And again, like we mentioned, oh, that's me going to the
may want to join.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and not. I'm subbing in. All right, I got my chance. Here we go. No, we're starting this one off. Let's go ahead and jump on board with Go and Get It. See if maybe you can give them a little bit of a boost here in Game 2.
You know, we have to give credit to Propulsion Wigbat, not just for their performance in the tournament so far, but 5 shots on net, and a few of them were actually really good. Gibbs had to make some clutch saves. It wouldn't have made the difference when it comes to winning or losing, but definitely if they can get a little bit more momentum on their side. I like their chances to make it competitive.
Oh, and Kurnovi, just, again, he's so good at just seeing where a shot can develop. So he's turning around here. He knows he's got an open net, but Elmer Fudd was nearly in position to get that out. Unfortunately, he just couldn't quite get there in time.
Just a situation where, you know, one team thinks that they've got the ball moving in their direction, and an unfortunate bounce, mostly due to good positional play, means that it's actually in the back of their net 2 seconds later.
Fundib with a great center ball here, but Gibbs is right there for the return. Again, just knowing where he needs to be. That top crossbar set from Gibbs, I mean, not to mention the entire rest of Cosmic Aftershock, That's been what's so deadly. They're just able to bounce off that top crossbar and then just make plays from there.
When you have a team that can hit an aerial shot from pretty much any angle, the most dangerous place for that ball is just coming off the backboard and languishing in front of the opponent's goal. And really, that's what we've seen out of Cosmic Aftershock, you know, dozens of times throughout the tournament so far.
Gotta hop on board with Kronovi here again. This guy's just making plays happen no matter where he is on the pitch. We got another top crossbar hit, and oh my goodness, without Fun Dip there, that was certainly going in. Great defensive play from him. Let's go ahead and give him some camera love here as well with that dramatic pullback. But Gibbs, I gotta learn to keep the button on Cosmic Aftershock. These guys, they just know how to make it happen. Look at that shot from Gibbs. The man not really known for his aerial prowess, but he can certainly get it done when he needs to.
And I hate to keep harping on this because I feel like I'm kicking them when they're down, but you know, you have two people on Propulsion Wigbat doing the same thing in net. I'm not saying I could do any better, but if you had one person going up there to maybe try to run some interference on the flying instead of two people hanging down, hoping that the ball falls to them or hoping they can do something to make a save in the final couple of seconds, maybe that goes a little bit differently.
Now, Fun Dip, just a great set there. Unfortunately, Propulsion, again, just not able to get it done. They're getting a few opportunities. They really are. They're competing well when they have their ball in when they have the ball in the opponent's zone. They just can't quite follow through, and Sad Jr. with just a filthy dribble. We got to watch this one again. Manages to get complete control, dribbles all the way across the pitch, and then just gentle taps.
To be able to have the skill to dribble like that's some otherworldly stuff. I mean, I know flying looks really impressive, but to have that control when you're going as fast as you are,
it's almost more impressive.
It is, I think, more impressive, and you've got to outthink another person at the same time. You don't just have to look at the trajectory of the ball. So, I mean, I've been there on defense 100 times, and it hurts every single time. That is just a beautiful goal.
Elmer Fudd thought maybe he could get away with the midfield press, but just has to retreat, go grab some canisters. Fun Dip, I think, has been the one that's been at least able to counter to a certain extent the hits that Cosmic Aftershock are putting on the ball. Great shot, a follow through there from Go and Get It. Let's go ahead and follow up with him in the corner here. Cosmic Aftershock playing some defense. Going to get it. He's looking like he's in position to get another return shot, but these guys, they're just not getting the second hops they need.
And just another, completely dirty lob right in front of the net. And, you know, again, if we've seen it once, we've seen it 100 times from Cosmic Aftershock. It creates these chances that are almost impossible to save consistently.
Gibbs coming through again. Kronovi's looking like he's going to try to set it. That's a little bit too wide. You can see Sad Jr. just cruising through, waiting for the opportunity to bury it. Gibbs again with the return.
That's the kind of bounce that can absolutely swing the momentum in the game. We almost had Propulsion Wigbat get a good chance in front, and it looks like...
Wow, the save, but there it is. Gibbs nearly pulled off the miracle, but Go and Get It is going to finish this one off. Look at Gibbs come in here, just trying desperately to pinch it out through the corner, but Go and Get It right before Kronovi manages to slam it out of there. Puts Propulsion on the board, and maybe we've got a game. 2.5 minutes to go. Anything could happen.
Yeah, and it would be awesome to see Propulsion Wigbat make this a little bit more competitive. They got a bit of a lucky bounce, but they capitalized on it completely, and they are going to have to commit to those in the future. We got another pretty identical setup happening right here.
Go and Get It. Not quite there, though. Off the wall might be their best bet. It looks like Gibbs missed here as well, but Sad Jr. and Kronovi, they know their rotations, and they're ready to follow up. Elmer Fudd nearly got a shot on goal. They're going to have to go up for this one, but not enough boost for Go and Get It. He only managed to grab that small boost pad instead of the container. Didn't have enough on it. Now Kronovi playing a little bit of the Gibbs role here, taking that goalie stance, and oh my goodness, this is just a mess, but there's a good angle. Go and Get It. Going for the aerial shots. I gotta appreciate that. Oh, nice shot there as well. My goodness. Kronovi is just everywhere.
Fantastic pressure from Propulsion Wigbat right now. They are doing a great job keeping the heat on.
And there it is. Go and Get It finally gets one in. It looks like they're finally developing a sense of understanding the pressure that they need to put on to actually have a chance here.
You know, they're being aggressive when they should be aggressive, and, you know, all credit to Go and Get It there. He actually potted it past 3 people on Cosmic Aftershock all at the same time, and that is no easy feat. You keep that pressure on, you've got a great chance to score goals, and again, I don't want to jinx it, but we might have a little bit of a game going on here.
You're going to jump on board with Fun Dip now, and that amazing drag back camera. Kronovi with another amazing defensive play, but Elmer Fudd is going to follow through with that one. We got a 1-goal differential now.
And not to take anything away from Propulsion Wigbat, but it really seems like the Arena is one of their best players right now, bouncing that perfectly in front of the net. If they meant to do that, that is otherworldly.
Oh, Cosmic Aftershock maybe feeling a little bit of the pressure here now, almost insta-skipping that replay. They know it's time to play for real as FunDip and Elmer Fudd turning on the Jets along with Go and Get It. All three players making plays when they need to now. Maybe getting over those first game jitters here up against the big boys. Ready to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, credit to both teams. They're playing fantastically right now, and they're trying to prove, Propulsion Wigbat is trying to prove that it wasn't a joke or an accident that they made it here. They beat some really talented teams to get here, and they're showing how they did it.
Go and Get It, I think, maybe a small issue with not being able to communicate and or trust in your teammates, but it looked like Elmer Fudd definitely had a better angle on that to pop it out. Unfortunately, though, a good jam up there by Sad Jr., as it looked like Gibbs was up there to kind of pinch it through on the other side, and then Sad Jr. just there for the easy cleanup. And that's giving Cosmic Aftershock a little bit of a cushion with only 40 seconds left to go here in Game 2.
Yeah, Gibbs with a great utility play there. The defense was properly positioned, but he just bounces it behind them. I mean, it's the kind of control that takes hours and hours of practice to perfect, obviously. But Sad Jr. there to pick up the easy garbage goal, and, it counts the same as the rest of them. 5-3 with 30 seconds left.
Looks like Elmer, good hit there by FunDip. He actually got it to go, and wow, that might just be what they needed to stay in this game. Check out this hit from FunDip. Right off the wall that actually, I think, nudged off of Sad Jr.'s rear end. And they're skipping the replays again. They know this is serious.
At some point, you can't chalk every goal up to lucky bounces. I think that Propulsion Wigbat, they capitalize on this chaos a little bit, and that's definitely a valid tactic. It's working out very nicely for them here.
Amazing teamwork again. Kronovi almost got that shot to go. 10 seconds left. Let's see if Propulsion can actually make something happen, but that's going to be the dagger. Kronovi just, again, doing Kronovi things.
And it's just that standard Cosmic Aftershock play. Off the backboard. Kronovi not even really close to the net, out by that first boost pad, but still managed to knock it in with such authority that nobody could get up there and stop it in time.
With 6 seconds to go, the odds are slimming down here for Propulsion Wigbat. It looks like Cosmic Aftershock's going to be taking a 2-0 lead here in this series, although definitely a much more competitive game, too, here from Propulsion Wigbat. Good stuff from them.
To be able to put up 4 goals after going down 4-0, that shows that they want it. And I hope that they'll be able to bring some of that in the next game, because that was one of the best games that we've seen all tournament. Great goals, a lot of great ball control, and hopefully we see a little bit more of that.
And maybe as deprecating as it sounds, the fact that Cosmic Aftershock actually had multiple saves on the game does go to show that Propulsion is putting on some pressure here.
Oh, absolutely. This is competitive, and all credit to Propulsion Wigbat for not backing down here. I mean, they went down 4-0 in the second game, and one thing we've seen time and time again is loser of the first game gets blown out in the second game and then never has a chance to come back. But they have definitely won a small moral victory that should keep their confidence high going into Game 3.
Gibbs with a great set here. Good kickoff from Elmer Fudd, and that is maybe a goal from Elmer Fudd. Oh, my goodness. Let's watch this one on the replay here. Elmer Fudd controlling right from the kickoff, and that is just impeccable positioning in the midfield shot.
Goal.
Amazing work.
Right under the crossbar, and no walls for me to take away any of the credit from Elmer Fudd on that one. Just a beautiful goal.
Puts up Propulsion 1-0 here. Let's see if they can maybe keep up this momentum. They need a spark of life here, and Elmer might have just given it to him. A great defensive play there as well. Challenging on the ball, which is what we think they needed to do from the get-go.
Yeah, but it's so much easier to have that aggression when you're already up. One goal, they know it's not going to be enough to win unless they play amazing defensively. They want to get some more. Well, they've spotted a weakness in Cosmic Aftershock.
Go and Get It actually maybe had an opportunity there, but again, it's easy to be a little bit fearful of what these guys are capable of. You never really want to get caught out of position, so you can't blame them for trying to be a little bit more defensive-minded. Now Elmer Fudd getting some great sets as well, but these guys know that they've got opportunities if they can get it, but a great aerial save there by FunDip to kill the momentum on that ball, and Sad Jr. making a little bit of a mistake there and assuming that FunDip wasn't going to be able to knock that out of the air like he did.
Absolutely, and that's what they should have been doing in the first game, honestly. If you give Cosmic Aftershock the chance to do with the ball what they want to do with the ball, they're going to score on you. So to get up there and make it difficult on them really helped out a lot.
Look at Sad Jr. poaching this goal from Gibbs here. Great teamwork all around, but Sad Jr. just in position to knock it right off the back. Gibbs and Sad Jr. managed to knot it all up at one here, and Cosmic Aftershock is starting to apply a little bit of the gas pedal here on Propulsion.
Go and Get It made a great defensive play there to almost save his team from having it tied up on them. But unfortunately, that rebound came out just in front of the net and made it easy for Cosmic Aftershock. They're not going to miss that one too often.
Still on board with Sad Jr. here. A dangerous spot there for Cosmic, but unfortunately for Propulsion, nobody was really there to capitalize. Fun Dip cuts off Kronovi's dribble, and there's Elmer Fudd to try to keep it in the air. Now, unfortunately, I think a lot of the time Propulsion is caught on the wrong side of the ball, and that might be where their major weakness lies.
Yeah, there's been a couple of reckless commitments. I would say you go up for a flying shot and you end up missing it. That puts you well out of position, which I think actually contributed to that tying goal from Cosmic Aftershock.
Good shot there as well from Gibbs. Sad Jr. nearly pulled off the miracle double tap aerial, but Gibbs is here for just the routine spice hit. Right up above, indefensible. Try and fly up there. You're not going to be able to get that. Gibbs puts Cosmic up 2-1.
You know, I'm sure Elmer Fudd feels bad about that one. The pass off the wall went right to Gibbs. But Gibbs, that shot, I don't know how you defend that. It's right up against the crossbar. Kind of gets sucked under as soon as it touches it from that angle. Just plays perfectly to be basically indefensible.
Kronovi. Look at this guy. I can't even finish my thought without him just putting a goal in. Sees it come off the corner. Bounces it off the corner of his own car, and that is a 3-1 lead for Cosmic. Elmer Fudd needs to put some points on the board here now. I think this guy, as team captain, oh no, good play there. He's in position for it. But I think he's the one that's got to start just making some plays happen. He's been up there along with Fun Dip. Those guys have both shown the capability to have good spots, but oh, sadly there, Go and Get It. Kind of caught on the wall, and Kronovi's going to make you pay every time on that.
Yeah, just a colossal mistake here. You go for the backflip, but it's maybe, you know, a fifth of a second too late. The ball bounces by you, and that's the easiest goal that Cosmic's been able to score all tournament, I think.
Let's stay on board with Go and Get It here. Down 4-1 now. They really need to start making some plays. Again, we're in Game 3 in this best of 5. Propulsion looking like they may be on life support. As Gibbs, oh, Gibbs. Look at this guy. Now, Gibbs, I think, is just... It's uncanny the way he knows just how to hit it when he's got a little bit of a lob shot available to him.
Oh, and again, once you get behind the ball, if you don't have boost like that, there's nothing you can do to catch up. But that's the kind of thing, you know, positioning can help out a lot there. But what are you going to do when you're down by 4 goals and 2 games in a best-of-5 series? You've got to go all in. I mean, we've seen Propulsion Wigbat play behind. They're one of the few teams that have played behind with confidence, but it's starting to fall apart here.
Absolutely. It looks like we may be just experiencing a complete collapse. What little momentum was there from that early goal now, unfortunately, buried with 6 others. Sad Jr. just making it look easy, flying up there and finishing off Kronovi's assist. Great job there.
And I think it's fair to say that if you let Cosmic Aftershock score 6 goals in a row, it's going to be really difficult for you to take a game. But anything could happen. And again, this is one of the few teams that has really shown that they have the wherewithal to come back from behind. Almost took Game 2, at least made it competitive. Hopefully they can do the same here.
Propulsion on just the edge here. Down 5, 2 minutes to go, and Kronovi and Sad Jr. are not letting up, keeping all the control of the ball on the blue side of the court here. Now Kronovi with the backflip off the wall again to nail it down, but it looks like Fun Dip was there to at least try to make him pay for that. Kronovi being a little bit of a bully now, keeping him on the orange side, keeping him out of the way of the defense, and there's a good play from Fun Dip to get that cleared out.
Yeah, and a great save from Go and Get It again. He's doing everything on defense. It hasn't always worked out, but he's usually in a position to make something happen.
Oh, just misses the aerial. Not quite what he was looking for there. Grabs a canister, though. Kronovi with a weaker hit, but Sad Jr., or Gibbs, I should say, carrying it up a little bit on the wall there, too. Running out of time, though, and it's looking less and less like they're going to pull off the miracle comeback here.
Yeah, Game 2 was particularly great for them. I think that showed what works best for them as a team in this tournament so far. Game 3 has been a little bit disappointing apart from that Elmer Fudd goal, but that has the potential to be like goal of the tournament. And look, Fun Dip is challenging that right away.
Fun Dip is just, I think he's lost his inhibitions now. He recognizes, all right, look, it's time to put on a show. I know I'm probably not going to win this game, so let's just get up there and make some good hits. Everybody on the ball now. It's just a catastrophe. Heading straight for the goal, though. Gibbs with the follow-through, and there's Sad Jr., but he looks like he's maybe easing off the throttle a little bit here. This guy's playing around with a little bit. 6-1 again. Cosmic Aftershock up 2 games. There's Kronovi off the wall. Elmer Fudd in that net. Gets it right past him. Elmer Fudd needs to clear this out, and there's Kronovi, but there's Elmer Fudd with a good play. Nearly gets the off-the-wall hit, but Not quite there. 20
A
seconds
couple of
to
great
go.
goals out of Cosmic Aftershock in this game, no doubt about it, but I think the defining story here is a little bit of defensive lapsing from Propulsion Wigbat. Could have been much more competitive games, but hey, you know, you don't get to the Final Four of the tournament without doing a lot of things right, so I think they've played a great tournament, and they'll hopefully be able to learn a lot from this.
There's a nice, easy goal for him. Fun Dip setting up Elmer again. This is good stuff here. I mean, this right here is a punish on an empty net, and I mean, I don't want to say we're exposing a chink in Cosmic Aftershock's armor, but perhaps there's a little bit to be learned there.
Yeah, we've seen two kind of behind-the-back passes across the wall to get in behind the goalie and then get a quick one-timer off them. It's the kind of thing it takes a lot of control to set up, but if you can do it with some regularity, that's definitely one way to get some shots on net.
Another dominant performance, and Cosmic Aftershock moves on. They're going to the finals, unsurprisingly so for probably many spectators here, but Propulsion Wigbat, an impressive showing from them, made it competitive to a degree. But
yeah,
they
you know,
are
only 9
home.
shots on net for Cosmic Aftershock versus 7 for Propulsion Wigbat. It's kind of the closest game, at least in terms of volleys that we've seen like that. Decent defensive play from both sides, but Cosmic Aftershock made the differences where it counts and won some pretty convincing games there.
All right, Cosmic Aftershock moves on. Our next semifinal match, we're going to find out who's playing in that one very soon, but we'll be back to cast that as well, followed up with the finals here of ESL Rocket League tournament action. This is Go4RocketLeague North America Cup number 4. Here with BaerTaffy and Northernlion. We'll be back commentating the second semifinals match live real soon. Hold tight. Welcome back, everybody, to ESL Rocket League action. We've got the second semifinal match coming up for you right now. It's going to be VQ Untethered versus Knockout. I'm here with BaerTaffy, was what I was going to say, but I'm here with Northernlion. That's your
You
name.
are beside yourself.
I
right
am.
now.
I am here with me, and I am just so pumped. I am ready for this, man. Semifinal number 2. We're going to find out who's going up against Cosmic Aftershock here in the grand finals. Are you hyped beyond belief?
I am hyped within the realm of believability, but for the finals, it's going to be off the charts. If it's a scale out of 10, I'm thinking like 10.5, 11 at least.
Oh, absolutely. VQ Untethered, of course, putting on a show of domination a little bit there in that quarterfinal matchup. And Knockout is kind of coming in here as an underdog. Not really made a name for themselves yet. Doing pretty well in North America Cup number 3. Got knocked out by Goodfellas FC in about the quarterfinals. So they've done well up to this point, but haven't seen too much of them in the top tier play. So we'll see what they can do going up against the big boys here in VQ Untethered. We're going to jump into the spectator cam now. I think we're just about ready to go here in semifinals match numero dos.
And any minute now, we're going to get in here, and it would be really awesome to see 2 competitive teams go head-to-head. Not that the games have been bad, but to see them back-and-forth series would be awesome instead of just 3-0s the whole time. But hey, I mean, if there's a discernible skill difference in teams, that's what happens, and it should be awesome to see which one of these teams can make it to the finals.
Absolutely. Got a good view of the arena again. It's so great. All right, there it is. Secret Ass-Kicker Menchaca and Sudo here for Team Knockout. Let's see how they fare going up against VQ Untethered. Lichinio immediately going up in the air, setting himself up very well with that center ball. Sudo able to clear that out. Now Knockout, again, they've not really had stellar competition up to this point, but they have managed to get pretty far in a tournament before this. So these guys, they know what they're doing here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you make it to the Final Four, we started with 256 teams. We're talking about teams that are the absolute best of the best in Rocket League in North America right now. So either one of these teams should be able to win. It just depends on how they work together and, you know, what kind of defensive exploits they're able to pull off.
It looks like Sudo and Secret Ass Kicker, I love that name, are actually going to be, let's look like Sudo and Menchaca are going to be kind of on the offensive end. And we see another team here kind of employing that all-time goalie stance with Secret Ass Kicker here sitting in the net.
Yeah, but occasionally he's been a little bit more aggressive, and he's come out not afraid to fly to hit the ball to give them some momentum. And this is what I like to see. 2 teams both being aggressive, want to get that early goal that lets them set the tone for the rest of the match. They can play the way they want to play.
Plutonium, Falcon, and Lichinio doing all these fancy little maneuvers. We're on board here with Menchaca, actually, who is nice. Oh, good attempt there from Sudo, but almost got the dribble to go around. There's a great hit from Menchaca, though. He sees the opportunity, but can't quite get the aerial hit. Sudo Menchaca, though, doing a great job keeping possession on the orange side of the field.
Yeah, and strengthened numbers from VQ Untethered there. Were it not for the number of people that they had in net, that dribble from Pseudo could have easily gone in.
Oh, Tank and Plutonium, they see here they're playing with fire. They know that any misstep this close to their own net's going to be lethal. Almost got the angle there, Menchaca trying to go for that indefensible position there in the top right corner. Here's Secret Ass Kicker trying to clear it out. Not exactly the clear he wanted, I'm sure, and Tank is, oh, nearly there. But there's Lachinio with the demolition to prevent any
nobody
sort of
wants
advantage.
to touch it here.
That's right. Plutonium Falcon, though, going up on the wall. Pseudo's there. Here comes Menchaca for the aerial. Good counter hit from Lachinio to keep that out of their zone. Grabs a canister as well. Here comes Menchaca again. I think Menchaca may be a lethal weapon here for knockout. Let's see how effective he is up in the scoring zone.
You know, one of the benefits that they're going to have, Knockout is going to have here, having a dedicated goalie, is that it really allows their two attackers to go as aggressive as they want. If they miss a shot, they know it's a big deal, but it's not necessarily a guaranteed goal like it is in situations where you don't have that goalie. So I'm hoping to see some creative and aggressive stuff, knowing that they don't have that much to lose.
Absolutely. You can see Pseudo and Menchaca definitely taking advantage of that as well. They're going up pretty carefree for most of these aerials, especially in situations where you know you can be punished pretty hard if you don't have that last line of defense there at all times.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, if you have three people up, sometimes you end up in, weirdly enough, a little bit more of a conservative situation because nobody wants to be the one who's the last person to let the ball by. But as long as you know you've got somebody on your back, it doesn't matter.
Oh, no. Secret Ass Kicker. Not enough on that, but Tank can't capitalize, not getting the angle he wanted to try to put that in. Pseudo, though, he's looking around here. He's trying to figure out when he can go in. We're actually 3 minutes into this one already. So many close opportunities for VQ Untethered, but it's looking like we're following that formulaic approach to Game 1 here. Both teams kind of testing the waters. VQ Untethered realizes now that this defense is going to be kind of hard to crack, so they're going to have to look for some seriously, outside of the norm opportunities to be able to put a shot on net here.
Oh, absolutely. And VQ with two very good chances on that last drive. Tank had one of the most beautiful aerial shots I've ever seen, but missed.
Pseudo just pushing that right out of the net there, and now, okay, Tank's waiting for that counter hit. He's in reverse here, but he's got a good spot all the same. Great hit there from Menchaca. Menchaca and Pseudo need to make something happen. You see Menchaca going up for these great setups, but Pseudo's just a little too far up. He's got to maybe retract a bit, go a little further behind, and be in a better position to follow through on that.
Yeah, it was a beautiful setup from Menchaca. Not quite the follow-through there, and that gave a 3-on-1 to VG Untethered here, which didn't really give them a great chance, but of course, the more of those you allow, the more risky they become.
We're going to hop on board with Tank here now. Let's see if VQ Untethered can apply some pressure. There's a 3-on-2, but unfortunately, they got the ball knocked out of their zone just in time. Pseudo was dead for a little while there. Tank is now just flying all around. It looks like Untethered is very content with pulling all three and just consistently applying the pressure and hoping that Secret Ass Kicker isn't able to get an amazing clear off the net.
And they almost made it happen a couple of minutes ago, but this is looking good.
Oh, Pseudo, so close. And Menchaca there for the follow-through as well, but everything's just coming up wide. We got 10 seconds on the clock, completely scoreless up to this point. I think we got a match on our hands.
Oh, those are both tough shots to make, but it just hurts so much more knowing they almost certainly would have given you the win.
Oh, Plutonium Falcon, another dangerous play. There's a shot on goal. Ass kicker there for the position, though.
And the Savior badge has never been more aptly awarded. That really saved the game there. Secret Ass Kicker with an amazing save.
Terrific defense. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Plutonium Falcon, though. He is flying around as he tends to do. Tank with a nice set. Lachinio and Tank both up there. There's a good shot from Falcon. That's right at the net, but of course, Ass Kicker is there. That's actually a great clear ball as well. Puts him in a great position, but of course, tough to follow up. Oh, no. Great body block from Plutonium Falcon. He knew where the damage was going to be coming from if it was, and he put himself in a position to stop it.
That was an incredible sense of placement there from Plutonium Falcon. Had he not been there, that's two shots that easily could have gone in, but he saves the game right there.
Now Pseudo and Menchaca is still, again, Secret Ass Kicker. He just, not only has he assumed the role of that permanent defensive anchor, but he knows when he can make a play to try to set his teammates up. So he's out there trying to get clear balls, trying to center it up so those guys can maybe get a little bit of an aerial juggle or at least try to put it in the corner to give themselves a better opportunity to put some shots on net. Amazing defense there from Menchaca as well. He gets the clear and the set for himself. Could he follow this up? No, Tank is there to knock it out of play.
Just a singular effort from Menchaca there. Not only did he save it, He pushed the rebound out of the way, and there were 3 attackers waiting to put that in, and then he got the angled shot himself, and we're just seeing a ton of demos here.
No kidding. Look at the control. Oh, but wow, secret ass kicker. How did he even get to that? An amazing show of awareness there as he's able to actually defense that ball. I didn't think he was going to get that at all. Lachinio's got to be feeling bad about that one. And another clear from Knockout here. These guys are holding their own against VQ Untethered.
Oh, this is a fantastic game right now. That shot
another
is so hard
one.
to save.
Ass kicker can't do it again, though, as Lachinio and Take managed to finally put it in. What a show of defensive conduct there from Secret Ass Kicker in the entirety of Knockout. Just unfortunately couldn't hold up for very long, and Lachinio puts Untethered up 1-0 in this series. Great game, though.
Amazing game. Turns out that 6 saves from Secret Ass Kicker was not enough, but you know what they did? VG Untethered put him in a position where it wasn't enough for him to just save the ball. He had to push it out in front, but the shot was so difficult just to get the car on that he ended up leaving up a juicy chance there. No fault of his own. He was kind of left a little bit out to dry there, but amazing capitalization, and they just knocked on the door enough times that the hinges came off.
See if they make any adjustments here going into game 2. See if Secret Ass Kicker stays in the net as he's been prone to do thus far. Let's see if maybe they get a little bit more offensive-minded. Game 2.
If I were either of these teams, I would not switch up my strategy at all. I think Secret Ass Kicker's shown that, you know, you can leave the game in his hands here, and he'll still play strongly. So hopefully we see another competitive game here.
That's an amazing starting shot from Lachinio. I think maybe they're trying to exude that confidence right over the top of Knockout again here. We got Menchaca coming up in the offensive zone with Pseudo. Oh, but they still just... They're getting just so close. They're getting about as close as they can to an amazing setup for an opportunity without actually finishing it off.
Yeah, it's just amazing defensive play from both teams. Like a lot of credit there. This is not only a great defensive match, but we've seen a lot of good offensive chances too. And that's what it's going to take to score on one of these teams.
Plutonium Falcon keeping it in the corner here. He's done a great job of just blocking every single chance that Pseudo and company have had to knock it back out into their, or out of their zone, I should say. Lachinio getting some good body blocks as well, keeping that control up on the wall, but unfortunately it didn't go as high up as he wanted it to, but Tank's there for the aerial follow-up. Let's hop on board with him going up in the blue zone here. Grabs a canister. Not the bounce he wanted, but he's going to go up again. Great clear from Menchaca. Again, just complete aerial control from both teams so far.
Yeah, and this is just a heavyweight battle here. You know, the ball goes up, 2 players, 1 from each team. They're both there to contest one another. Nothing's getting given up easily here. And, you know, all we need to do is wait for someone's defense to crack, and that's going to create a huge opening. These are both talented teams.
Not only are they competing on the ball, but they're competing against each other. They're seeing what kind of aerial hits the enemy is going for and kind of adjusting their positions accordingly, which is just alone impressive. They're actually, though, knocking Secret Ass Kicker completely out of the net. He manages to get back in time, but he was well out of position there for a while, and that might be a new strategy that Untethered tries to employ here.
Yeah, you know, when a goalie is playing this well, you got to try something new to knock him off his game, and really that's exactly what Lachinio just went for right there, and it pretty much worked.
I mean, it didn't look like much, but look at Lachinio right here. He sees the opportunity, he sees the corner ball, and he knows that if he can just nudge Ass Kicker ever so slightly, that's going to be enough for them to get the goal. So well done there. A good opportunity capitalized on there by VQ Untethered, and they go up 1-0 here in game 2.
And sometimes you don't even have to hit the goalie to throw him off his game. You know, if you can just convince him to jump a little bit early, if you can make him a little skittish, maybe he'll mistime his reaction, and I think that's sort of what happened there.
Pseudo misses the wall hit here, trying to nudge it down off the corner, but not quite getting it, and Lachinio's in there to make him pay. Not exactly a center ball, but they still got control over here on the blue side of the net. Good ball control there, though, from Pseudo, and that's looking like it might be a set. Oh, and Pseudo nearly gets the goal, but Menchaca's there to finish it off. Well done from Knockout here.
Yeah, just an incredible amount of control close to the net. The angle that he had to hit there to get the goal was almost impossible. Turned out to not work, but Menchaca's there to finish it off. And just a really, really textbook play. That's fantastic to see from Knockout.
There's the first goal on the board there for Knockout, finally putting themselves in an offensive position. And there is good defense again from Menchaca. Not only hitting the ball out, but just setting himself up so well to actually get a nice near clear ball there. Secret Ass Kicker, of course, just continuing to do work there in the defensive zone. Pseudo, though, trying to carry it up through the middle. Looks like Menchaca might be going up for this one. Decides to play it a little easier, and that's a great shot on goal defense by Plutonium Falcon.
Yeah, you know, he's been a little bit more offensively quiet this game, but that's a game saver right there. If you can spoil an easy goal for your opponents, you know, goals aren't coming easy right now, so that could end up being a game saver by itself.
A little bit hesitant here to go up now. These guys recognizing the threats that could be immediately in front of them. Oh, a big miss from Plutonium Falcon. It was a wide open net. He could have put him up by one. He's got to be kicking himself about that, but Lichinio still keeping it in their zone. Still no follow-through. Plutonium Falcon coming up again, but here's Menchaca. This is Pseudo actually coming around the wall. A good hit there. Lichinio again for the follow-up. Still playing offense. And Tank now actually coming up on the other side as well.
Yeah, and just a beautiful setup here from VG Untethered. Haven't been able to finish the job, but they've really had a great opportunity to go up 2-1. Just two rare mistakes happening at the same time from both teams.
Oh, and you saw an open net there. Menchaca nearly made him pay for it. Pseudo and Menchaca both up. Oh, a big missed aerial. Lichinio's going to get this on the other side now. Let's see if he can set it up for Plutonium Falcon coming around. Big demolish, and he gets the goal. Wow, Lichinio just exercising all sorts of control.
Yeah, an unbelievable amount of restraint required to score this. He didn't need to do a flashy front flip, just a small aileron roll, put that perfectly, and those are so hard to defend, especially, you know, if your car just exploded because Lichinio crashed into you with 100 boost.
Right, yeah, that definitely makes things a little bit more difficult to deal with. Tank with a good bounce off the kickoff. Plutonium Falcon gets another bit of control over there in the blue zone, although Pseudo trying to maybe keep it in the corner a little bit more than usual. I think they're realizing the amount of times that VQ Untethered has actually managed to center ball here. Great defense from Menchaca again. It's shown again, like that top crossbar maneuver that Cosmic just loves to pull off so much. I think they realize they're probably better off just keeping it in the corner.
Oh, absolutely. If you give the enemy a chance to come out off the backboard with it, it's going to be problems for you.
Oh, not the hit he wanted. Oh.
They're demoing
Dangerous.
everybody. They don't care who's in net.
Absolutely. That's going to be a little bit too far. Pseudo sees it. He knows Tank's going up for it, though, as well. Grabs the canister. So many plays where he thinks he's in the clear to try to clear it out, but there's always someone from VQ Untethered waiting on the other side. 10 seconds left. Menchaca trying to make a play. We're going to hop on board with him here for the final 7. Still in the orange side of the field. Anything could happen here. They got to get a hit up, though. Otherwise, it's going to be cleared out. Looks like Plutonium Falcon did just enough, and that's going to do it. Game 2 goes to VQ Untethered, but this is a tightly contested match.
It could so easily be, you know, 1-1 or 2-0 in the other direction. So, honestly, I think this is a competitive series. I still think it could go either way. This is not like a Game 3 coming off of a 10-0 blowout. These are two very close teams.
That's 6 shots on goal for Lichinio. Plutonium Falcon with a couple saves on there as well, but you can see the amount of pressure that VQ Untethered is now applying with 8 saves on the board for knockout. They've had the ball on their side of the court way too much. I think they're wanting to change that up for this next game.
You got to do something. I mean, there's such strong defense coming out from Knockout right now. You need a really creative shot to beat them, but at the same time, they've got to get a little bit more offensive momentum if they're going to put up more than 1 or 2 goals on VG Untethered here.
Game 3. Let's see if Knockout can make a change of pace here as VQ Untethered looking like they're maybe on their way to another 3-0 sweep. Now, Plutonium Falcon, you see VQ Untethered, they've changed colors here again. VQ Untethered in the blue squad. Knockout in the orange. A good reverse bicycle kick there. Pseudo actually going up completely in reverse to try to follow that one up. Almost gets it. Oh, a big miss from Secret Ass Kicker, but Menchaca's there to make him feel better about it.
Yeah, and he didn't commit to it, which was great. He noticed that he made a mistake, and he just let himself fall, and that put him in position, if he had to make a second save.
Great dribble control there from Pseudo. Oh, this is looking dangerous. All of VQ is out of the net, but unfortunately it didn't get the bounce they needed. Menchaca, though, puts a good shot on goal, but Lichinio's got a good counter there as well. He's going to try to bring this all the way through, actually. Lichinio, maybe with a follow-up, but Pseudo's there to knock it out. Follows up his own hit. Lichinio with the body block, keeps it up on the wall, and Pseudo's going to go back and get some boost.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of disorganization coming out of Knockout right now. You know, 2 people going for the same ball. Normally you'd like to have one doing the setup and one waiting for the setup, basically, so they can execute a play. But a little bit of disorganization still in this game, though. No question about it.
Excellent prediction of the ball's arc right there from Pseudo. Looked like Ass Kicker might have been caught out of position a little bit, but Pseudo not so much. Lichinio is flying around here, getting back down, set on the ball, and he sees an opportunity. He's hunting for blood right now, but Tank's there as well. Pretty bad
Honestly,
bounce.
Secret Ass Kicker is very, very lucky that he didn't get punished for that. He came out of net, good to try to get some momentum, but you got to pick your timing right, and he unfortunately messed it up a little bit, and the wall was there to save him.
Interesting roll there off the ball for Lichinio. Unfortunately, couldn't garner any control of it. This is back off the front crossbar. Plutonium Falcon with just the gentle tap, and Ass Kicker's out of position. Let's see if Lichinio can capitalize. Not quite it. And it's going to be a little bit too far, but still keeping it in the zone here is Plutonium Falcon. He's still bouncing it around, but there's Ass Kicker again, reestablishing himself in front of that net.
And again, it just comes down to a pretty simple formula so far in this tournament. The more possession you have in your opponent's zone, the more likely you are to win. And definitely right now, VQ Untethered is definitely holding a dominant edge on the possession.
Oh, and
we'll see if that translates to a win.
That was a wide open net there for Pseudo. Unfortunately, probably didn't have enough boost to actually make that one count, but oh, there's another missed opportunity as well, unfortunately. Some nerves probably coming into play here with 3 minutes to go in Game 3. These guys know their tournament life's on the line. They need to make some plays right now.
Yeah, that's true, but we did see some great...
Wow! Speaking of being great, oh my god, I didn't expect that to go in.
I thought there was no chance, but Menchaca just...
Menchaca, wow.
Beautiful tap there.
Incredible corkscrew goal there. I don't know if he expected that one to go in, but all the same... Knockout up 1-0 here on Untethered in Game 3. We got ourselves a match.
And we've proven time and time again, it's not enough just to hit it, you got to place it, and that was placed perfectly, just tucked under the upper crossbar. Ooh. No goalie on earth is going to be able to save that one.
Great set there. Menchaca takes down Lichinio. They got to take advantage of this 2-on-3. Good set as well, and there's the finish! Pseudo puts up knockout 2-0 with a great assist from Menchaca.
Absolutely great setup from Menchaca. A surprisingly easy shot to mess up. You know, Pseudo was out of position just a second or two before this one came in, but he managed not to, and that puts them up 2-0. It's a pretty commanding lead in a series that's been as defensively tight as this one is.
We're going to hop on board with Lichinio here. We know he's got the capability to turn a game around on a dime. Let's see if he can do it now. Plutonium Falcon up there as well, and Tank, of course, holding down the defensive end. Here's Lichinio with an assist from Tank. They're looking to do some aerial acrobatics here. Got it set off in the corner now. Lichinio's got full boost as well. That's a great shot from Tank, but sadly just a little bit wide off the crossbar. Oh, and a good play by Pseudo there to get past Lichinio. Let's see if they can capitalize again. Nice defense from Tank and Plutonium Falcon.
Yeah, Plutonium Falcon with the confidence to almost put the ball in the corner of his own net, but it was the play that had to be made.
That's an amazing clear from Secret Ass Kicker. Oh my god, the shots that they're nearly getting here as well. I think Knockouts maybe found their game. Oh, this is another bad spot. Pseudo almost gets it. I think Lichinio almost knocked him out of position, but I think that might have just been Pseudo nearly missing on that shot.
Yeah, I think you're seeing a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I'm surprised at that one, too. I'm being caught completely off guard. Look at Secret Ass Kicker here. You think he's right in position to defense this, but oh, Lichinio just sneaks it by him. A great shot there. And VQ Untethered puts themselves up as well. It's 2-1 in favor of Knockout.
And you know, you see this sometimes. Sometimes when there's more shots coming in, it's easier to stop them because you're warmed up, you're expecting it. But maybe Secret Ass Kicker got lulled into a little bit of a false sense of security because Knockout has been dominant.
Oh, but there it is. Tank comes up from out of nowhere. Look at these guys. They have absolutely no problem with playing from behind here. They see where the opportunities are. Apparently that's not Tank. Apologies for that replay there, but... Here it is, knotted up now 2-2 in Game 3. Let's see if Untethered can actually pull this one back.
Yeah, an incredible placement on that shot. Just put himself in the perfect position to knock it in and did what he had to do to make it unsavable.
Now
That's how quickly a lead can erode here, and we almost just saw it go down again. I held my breath a little bit when Ass Kicker touched it.
Just managed to get that out of there. Oh, no. A little bit of mistrust here again. Ass Kicker's been doing a great job, but they want to make sure that they got two guys nearly in the exact same spot trying to play defense, but a great demolition from Menchaca to take out Tank's opportunity at doing anything there.
Yeah, we saw a demo on Pseudo to give VQ Untethered a little bit of a numbers advantage, and then Menchaca comes back and equalizes.
Just a near miss from Lichinio there, and Pseudo, I thought, maybe could have just boosted right for the net, but he didn't see the opening.
Yeah, there was an open net, but he had a little bit of a hard time putting enough momentum on the ball to get it out in front of him, and just a sweep comes in from VQ Untethered to knock it out of play.
Oh, if Pseudo managed to actually get position on that one as well, they were looking at something. We got 10 seconds left. A great defensive play from Tank to cut off Menchaca's approach on the aerial shot. Secret Ass Kicker is actually coming out a little bit on the net now. He's feeling the pressure. They know they got to do something or they're going into overtime pretty soon here. It looks like that's what we're going to do.
And here's our second overtime of the series as Secret Ass Kicker gets that savior. Only savior on the field so far. 3 saves for him as he's playing that defensive role to a T, minus maybe a couple of early lapses.
There's a great hit from Pseudo. This is an opportunity, but Pseudo misses the aerial. Here comes Menchaca. Plutonium Falcon with the incredible save.
Yeah, Plutonium Falcon is really the soul of VQ Untethered in this game. A little quiet in the earlier 2 games. Every single one of his 3 saves has been absolutely game-saving here. And without him, this could have been a blowout, much less a tied game in overtime right here.
We got Menchaca. He's just, again, you can see him just on the prowl waiting for the opportunity. He knows Untethered is going to try to maintain control of that ball in the midfield, but he's got opportunities when he sees them. Oh, and a big play again from Ass Kicker. Tank nearly with the shot on goal that ended, but Ass Kicker keeping their tournament lives in play. Menchaca, though, can't quite get it up.
Yeah, 2 fantastic goalie performances here coming out. Secret Ass Kicker comes through again.
Oh, my God.
Every single one of his last 3 saves has been an epic save, and they have deserved it. He's saying, I'm not the only, or Plutonium Falcon isn't the only goalie out here. Don't forget about me.
Plutonium Falcon, speaking of which, centering that ball again. Menchaca is playing so patiently right now. Let's go ahead and hop on with Pseudo, actually. Pseudo is making some more aggressive plays. He's going to come back here and grab this canister, sees an opportunity to save up on that boost. That shot just high, and there's an open net nearly, but Tank is there in defense. A great position there from him to save potentially a game-winning goal there from Pseudo.
And that play all got started just because Menchaca was a little bit off with his clear, and it ends up popping out right in front of the net where Plutonium Falcon can get a nice hit and get some momentum on it. Almost created a disaster.
Good positioning there by Menchaca. He saw Tank going up for that hit, realized the only angle he really could get was to bring it down off the corner, so he managed to put himself in position. Almost a good goal there from Plutonium Falcon. Oh, bad hits here from Knockout. Ass Kicker again, just coming up clutch.
And you know, we're maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes into overtime, and he just picked up his second savior. That's 3 game saves that have really helped keep his team in this, even if on that one his misplay almost took it out of it.
Oh, Menchaca missing the aerial again. Let's hop on board with Lachenio here. Let's see if the Untethered squad can finally close out this match. We're probably going into 3 or 4 minutes of overtime here. Neither team really able to make a good opportunity show up, although we've seen some hero ball out of Ass Kicker thus far. And there's another big save. So close was Tank, but Knockout just refused to go down. Oh my God, there it is. Plutonium Falcon has to pull off just the miracle shot. Let's watch him go up here for this one. Another 6 badges tacked on for him. That's the shot you need.
Unbelievable.
Untethered moves on. Amazing play from Knockout, though. You got to give him so much credit. What a game.
And Plutonium Falcon really dominated that game on both sides of the field. I mean, you have Secret Ass Kicker with 6 saves. He played great, but Plutonium Falcon really saved the day with those 3 saves. They were super clutch, and that goal at the end, I mean, there's nothing you can really say about it. It was just dominant. You know, 100 feet up in the air, he placed it exactly where he needed to.
You got a total of 19 shots on goal there from VQ Untethered. Absolutely ridiculous, combined with the fact that of 11 saves total for Knockout as well. Just absolutely stunning display of complete control and just defensive and offensive plays on both sides. Credit to Knockout, great performance there, but it is going to be VQ Untethered. Moving on to the finals, which are going to be broadcast right here very soon. Don't go anywhere. It's Cosmic Aftershock versus VQ Untethered, the match we've all been waiting for. Coming up here in ESL Rocket League action. It's the Go4RocketLeague North American Cup number 4. We'll see you soon. Apologies for the delay, everybody. We are back. It is time. We are getting into this finals game right now. Joining you live here on ESL Rocket League, Go4RocketLeague Tournament, North America Cup number 4. We're jumping into the game here. These guys are ready to go. It is time for the grand finals. VQ Untethered versus Cosmic Aftershock. Final predictions, now that we've had a moment to decide whether or not Kronovi's controller issue was falsified.
Well, my VQ Untethered prediction looks even stronger now that we found out that Sad Jr.'s controller is apparently on the fritz a little bit.
Yeah.
But I hope it's fixed, because if the game goes like that, I don't want there to be any excuses. I want it to be, a clean, hard-fought game.
Good, clean fight. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, we're ready to go. Players are getting the heads up right now, jumping into the arena. Hopefully we're devoid of controller issues this time, and it looks like we will be. It is Cosmic Aftershock versus VQ Untethered here in your grand finals. And we're starting off with Plutonium Falcon.
Yeah, and Sad Jr. with the interesting kind of kickoff strategy there. He does a weird little spin, and he gets control of it. Almost popped it in there on a weird goal.
I'm very excited to see the level of control these guys are all going to have to exude here. These teams know that probably the only opportunities besides those ones are going to be coming few and far between. Kronovi out of nowhere manages to get it right out of midfield and just puts it right in the net. Tank had no idea where that was coming from, and an early 1-0 lead for Cosmic.
Yeah, and if you think Cosmic Aftershock is going to be a little bit rusty after having maybe an hour off, Kronovi showing that you are sorely mistaken, just putting that goal where the sun don't shine and making it easy.
Certainly applying the super turbo buttons on his controller there. He had to fix that up. Here's Tank with the clear out, though. Kronovi and Sad Jr. doing a good job keeping the ball up in the offensive zone. Lachinio kind of caught off guard as well, but Plutonium Falcon's there to clean it up. Let's hop on board with him again. Playing some good defense. They know as long as they keep it up sky high, it's pretty difficult for them to make a shot on goal, but still pretty dangerous up in that territory as well.
We're seeing just textbook Cosmic Aftershock. We're only, less than a minute into the game, but Gibbs hanging back, letting Sad Jr. and Kronovi dictate the course of play, and he's always there to knock it back in if possession happens to change hands, and it's giving them so much time in the offensive zone to set up something good.
Oh, near miss there from Kronovi, and you see a great usage of the no-boost hops there from Plutonium Falcon. He's been rocking an empty gauge here for about 30 seconds, still able to make plays, though. Oh, Kronovi nearly got the nasty dribble play, but unfortunately cut himself off right there. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Sad Jr. here. Trying to play a little bit of defense as Cosmos Aftershock is caught off guard here.
And Plutonium Falcon comes in with an aggressive player, keeps the ball in the zone, and now it looks like VQ Untethered might have a chance if they can pick this one up.
Plutonium Falcon actually again trying to nose that down off the top crossbar and set it up for somebody, but Lachinio was not in position to set that. Sad Jr. with a great center ball, and Kronovi with just the nudge, but Sad Jr. actually knocks it completely out of the goal despite his best efforts to do the complete opposite of that.
Yeah, you don't always have to hit it hard to get it in there, and that was just a nice little love tap. Almost made it happen just a little bit wide.
Lachinio and Tank actually out of position here, but unfortunately, again, Sad Jr. is just going to have to be forced to reset a little bit. Seems that they're trying to put themselves in a position where if they can't get a good shot on goal, they're at least resetting it into the corner to give their teammate a better opportunity to center the ball.
Yeah, and it's all about dictating that pace of play. You want it to be fast when you're up front, but you want it to be slow when you're defending. And both teams have done a pretty good job of maintaining that. I mean, VQ Untethered right here.
That's a great shot by Lachinio, just sadly off the crossbar. I don't think Cosmic actually expected that to be as close as it was. They looked like they were content just letting that one go.
Yeah, almost a little bit of, Cosmic Aftershocky stuff out of VQ Untethered there, making something out of nothing and, really forcing them to get back on their back feet, and that gives you a great chance to press forward.
The amount of boost just flying around at the moment, all these players just looking for every chance they can get to move it around. Tank with a gentle tap, and he's got the follow-up there, but there's Kronovi for the set. Good defense by Lachinio. He's backwards, but he's got just as much control that way as he does on the front side. Oh, an amazing defense there from Tank as well. They got to get this out of the zone, though. They know it's just a matter of time before they get a good shot here. If they keep it in the center, they're going to be in dangerous territory.
Yeah, and everybody from VQ Untethered pitching in on that one. Tank with an amazing save. Managed to get it out, and that's the dangerous thing, is that oftentimes you just end up buying time back there until they score on you. But here they've managed to get it out and get a little bit of space so they can recover.
Down to a minute and a half. We're going to go up over Sad Jr., but that's a mistake. I know it damn well. Kronovi with another goal. Let's see how he managed to pop this one in. Looks like an assist from Sad Jr. Kronovi getting up on the aerial and gets a nice little side hop. Puts it right past Tank, and Cosmic Aftershock up 2-0.
Great goal. Sad Jr. made it super easy for him, just lobbing it around the edge. There's no way to defend against that unless you're going up on the wall. You got to have a lot of cojones to do that, and unfortunately, that might have been the only defense because Kronovi's going to get that one every single time.
Oh, Lachinio coming so close, and Plutonium Falcon can't quite finish it off either. These guys missing big opportunities here. This might be critical.
Yeah, they really need to get some momentum if they're going to take game one here. 2 goals, we've seen them come back many times. 3 might be a little bit unassailable.
The hat trick for Kronovi. Watch this again. He's just able to make shots where others might not. Bounces it to himself off the right crossbar and then follows through again. This guy's a legend.
A lot of space open in the left side of the net, but he decides, you know what, I think I got more confidence on the right side, even though there's a defender and the post there, and he makes it work either way.
Let's go ahead and try to hop on board with Tank here, see if VQ Untethered can actually mount a little bit of a comeback. Down 3 with a minute to go. They might be calling this game 1 in the books, but still anyone's game here. Let's see if maybe they can start to gather themselves a little bit, set themselves up a bit better for game 2.
Yeah, and the good news is, because this is a best of 7, you're not that far in the hole if you lose the first game. Obviously, you'd rather be on the other side of things, but it's not necessarily an enormous disadvantage if they can just manage to take one of the next ones.
And on top of that, I think they might be trying to at least gain a little bit of an advantage in the knowledge of how Cosmic is approaching this game, because of course you see the Cosmic playing with a little bit more respect. They're still, of course, going up for those crazy aerials when they can. Sad Jr. not afraid to end up on his belly once in a while, but you can see Cosmic is showing a little bit of reticence in trying to pull off the spectacular stunts they're most known for.
And they're lucky that they have the talent to actually stay back and do that. They have Gibbs basically dictating the pace of play from the back end. If he wants it to be back on the offense for Cosmic Aftershock, he can easily do that. He can save it, and that's giving them a huge edge because they can play whatever game they feel comfortable playing.
And that's game 1 in the books, 3-0 victory for Cosmic. Look at 10 shots on goal for Kronovi, just dominating even at the highest level of play. Still making his presence known. Impressive stuff there. 4 saves from Plutonium Falcon. Having to defend all those shots almost Kronovi alone is putting on goal. Impressive stuff there, but looks like VQ Untethered is going to be playing from a hole here early on.
Yeah, good defensive play from VQ Untethered there, but, Kronovi had more shots than the other 5 players in the game combined, so they're really, really going to need to put a few more shots on net, if only to buy them a little bit of time so they're not getting shot on as much.
Let's go into game 2 here. We're going to go ahead and start this one off with, we'll jump on board with Gibbs, see how he's anchoring things down here in the back line for Cosmic.
Yeah, I think you'll find that, he has some really smart play that really allows him to kind of put the ball where he wants it to be for this team going forward.
That was a pass. I just have to point that out. It's still amazing at this stage in the game, but that was a pass back to the goalie to get a better clear. This is the kind of teamwork these guys are capable of right now.
Oh yeah, they've definitely ascended. I mean, both teams and probably every team in the tournament here has ascended past the point where they're making huge mistakes like that consistently. That was definitely something that they put a concerted effort towards, and it worked.
Dangerous territory there. Gibbs nearly capitalizing, but Lucinio actually able to knock it out at the last second. Another good pop-up there from Plutonium, actually assisting over to Lucinio, who sadly just missed it, but there's the finish. I think Cosmic maybe caught napping a bit there.
Yeah, a little bit of a misplay here, I think. Kronovi gets nudged out of the air a
little
bit.
actually just aerial nearly demolishes Kronovi there for that one. The disruption plays, that's probably going to be the way they have to go for a lot of this.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best ways to deal with someone who has so much control is to just take that control away from him. He turned him into an obstacle that actually led to that goal.
He tried to destroy his controller. He didn't get away with that, so now he's trying to destroy his car. Oh, but that's a brutal goal to have to let in. Look at Sad Jr. just nudge this one through. That's rough for your morale, I think.
Yeah, as VQ Untethered, you got to be disappointed with this. Lucinio had a chance at it. Could have been a stronger clear from Plutonium Falcon, but those kind of things happen.
Now it's 1-1 with a minute passed on the clock. Definitely seeing a much more close game here in the early goings at least. And there's another great shot from Sad Jr. Just knows how to nudge it in. This guy showing off a little bit more of the control over the easy taps than even the more difficult aerials, but that's just an amazing shot.
And that play from beginning to end was about 10 seconds long, and there was not a moment where VQ Untethered looked like they had a semblance of control. Gibbs just put it exactly where he wanted it, and Sad Jr. was there. Nobody really to contest the shot.
Here comes Tank coming around the corner. He's going to give this, actually, Tank's going to go ahead and take it. Looked like he was going to give it to Falcon for a moment there, but it looks like they're going to try to just slow dribble this one up on the center of the pitch here. Sad Jr. just kind of content to let that one be. They're going to see what they're going to do coming into the corner here. Good play from Plutonium, but still just so many lines of defense he has to get through.
Yeah, really creative play from Plutonium Falcon and not go for the, high-octane slap shot there and instead just try to pot it nice and slowly. Didn't quite get the job done, but that's what you like to see if you're trying to beat a team like this.
And you see him trying to go up with that interesting angle, challenging Gibbs, but there's Lucinio with an amazing dribble play. That knots it up at 2. We got to watch this again. See, this right here, I mean, if you can nail this and you've only got one defender to beat, Lucinio knows how to put it in.
Not just the dribble, which was amazing, but also taking a little bit of time after he put it on net to knock Kronovi out. I don't know if Kronovi could have gotten it either way, but definitely that helped him out, and just an amazing singular performance there.
Here's Tank flying in from out of nowhere. Lucinio's going to get knocked out by Sad Jr. Kind of an intentional move there. I think they're trying to take Lucinio out of the match a bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's been dominant here in the past few minutes, and Were it not for a little bit of a defensive lapse, we could easily be seeing Untethered with a 2-1 lead right now. So this is a tight game, and Lucinio's definitely staking his claim as MVP for right now.
Cronovi's got a great shot opportunity here. Gets it just wide, but comes back around. Look at that backflip, nearly putting it in. Sad Jr. is going to come back around the other way. He sees an opportunity to disrupt, and Sad Jr. unfortunately could not put a shot on goal. Here's a one-on-one situation, though. Good defense from Cronovi. Tank almost had an opportunity. He's still going to follow it up. Amazing play. This cannot be understated. From back to front, this guy just exuded control over this ball.
Yeah, an end-to-end rush. Plutonium Falcon maybe had a chance to hit that one, but his sweep was off by a little bit. And, you know, he makes it look easy. That's the thing. It looks unremarkable. But if you watch that play, how it develops, he was there right from the genesis of it.
Again, Untethered forced to play from behind as Cronovi is just making plays happen whether they like it or not. We'll see Plutonium Falcon again flying in here. We're going to go ahead and hop on board with Tank, though. He's making plays, although still just kind of having to be a little bit more conservative, staying back and making sure that at least not too many opportunities come through for Cosmic Aftershock.
Yeah, and if Untethered goes on to lose this, I think they're probably going to end up feeling very disappointed in this, because this looks like a winnable game, couple of mistakes, and then, unfortunately for them, Cosmic Aftershock is completely capitalized on them.
Great aerial defense by Tank, caught off guard, but still manages to make a play. He's got to get back right now, though. He sees Sad Jr. and Cronovi lining it up. There's a great shot from Plutonium, but of course Gibbs, the ever-so-present field general, is there to make the stop.
Yeah, and if you miss that sweep, you're in big trouble, but he didn't miss the sweep, so I guess we don't have to worry about it too much.
We gotta rely on him to make a mistake, but there's Lucinio again. If they don't take him out, they're gonna pay. Look at this guy. No matter where the ball ends up, he's got a way to try to make it happen. There's a nice shot right off the side of the car and finishes the momentum for the ball to put him up. To knot it up at 3 here with 1:30 to go.
And it's so hard to get a good shot when it's coming at you in the same direction that you're traveling. You don't have the ability to kind of eyeball it and line yourself up. You got to look over your shoulder, and he just nailed it at such a speed that it was basically unstoppable. And Lucinio is just dominating this game.
Tank is going for the body. Oh, what a shot from Sad Jr. and Cronovi with the setup as well. You can't do anything about this. This is just teamwork with the kind of momentum on that ball that just, even if you know where that's going, you've got very little chance of stopping it.
Oh, that was just a dominant play again from Sad Jr., and he's been having a nose for net so far in this tournament as well.
Plutonium Falcon now sees an opportunity to maybe garner some control. He actually manages to wedge the ball up against the wall, but Cronovi's up there for the stop. They've got the momentum back, and that's a big shot from Cronovi, too. Although it looked like Sad Jr., I'm not really sure what happened there, actually.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a closer look at it here.
There it is, yep. Oh, wow.
Well, with Cosmic Aftershock, you know, they've done so much practice and you know, worked on their teamwork so much. It's hard to say that anything they do is not intentional.
Oh, we can't give them that one.
If anything that they've done is an accident, it is probably that one.
Not only can we not give them that, they don't need that. These guys, they're not relying on that goal to set them apart, although this one is certainly closer than the first game here, as Lucinio is doing everything he can to try to keep him in this. Actually setting the ball up. Well done with the center ball, but sadly there's Gibbs to knock it out. Ooh, Cronovi's go. Sad Jr. Look at him go up. Almost got it. These guys are grabbing every boost they can, desperately trying to get around as quickly as possible to maybe come back and help their team out. Oh, they want to go up on the wall, but they know Cronovi's going to be there for it. A great defensive move by Lucinio to get up, reverse, and hit that ball away. But Gibbs still, again, just controlling the pace.
Yeah, but Lucinio is not giving up, and you know, VQ Untethered, they deserve a lot of credit for sticking in here. 5-3 is a close game, and it could still even go either way, and Lucinio's trying to make sure that it does.
Sad Jr. and Gibbs, they know how to get it out when it comes around there as well. This is looking like it's going to end up here. Sad Jr. is trying to put another shot on net. Still playing great defense, even though they know it's a little bit too late here. Oh, but there it is.
Oh, my God.
They just have to put the dagger down. Look at Sad Jr. come through here and just bury it in.
Cosmic Aftershock saying, you know, we're not just going to lose to those goals that come out in a 30-second dribble rate at the very end. We can score those too, and that was just the cherry on top. Completely unnecessary, but I'm so glad it happened because that was quite a show.
Well phrased. That is 13 shots on goal here for Cosmic Aftershock. Sad Jr. putting on a bit of a display this time. 4 goals on 7 shots.
Yeah, very well done. Only 5 shots for Cronovi. You have to ask if something's going wrong.
I think that broken controller is rearing its ugly head again. All right, game 3. Again, reminder, this is a best of 7 here. These guys got to win 4 out of 7 games in order to take home the championship here for ESL North America Cup number 4. And we're going to start off here. Let's go ahead and jump on board with Tank again. Want to see if he's going to be able to actually hit an aerial. Nearly got exactly what he wanted there, but not quite getting it.
And you know, it's a best of 7. It's kind of a double-edged sword. It means you can lose one more without getting eliminated, but if you do, you've got to win 4 in a row. Better to claw one back as soon as possible than to let that happen.
Another great angle there from Tank. You can see up until he's going to grab this canister right here, you can see that he was not afraid to go up and try to challenge balls that otherwise he might not have been able to grab. He's seeing that Cosmic Aftershock is actually playing a bit more of the counter game. They're trying to keep themselves in position to make sure that either Lichinio or Plutonium Falcon can't really get up there and make a big play. But there's a nice shot from Sad, and Kronovi's going to finish it off.
And one of the things that we see time and time again from Cosmic Aftershock happened again right here. They miss, but it's a productive miss. You know,
exactly.
If it had gone in, it's a goal, but a miss just puts it right out front for Kronovi off the backboard. And, you know, they make the most of their chances, even if they don't go in directly.
Exactly. Put up the kind of shots that are at least, oh, wow, great kickoff there from both teams. Impressive stuff.
Yeah, some mind games happening.
Yeah, there's Lichinio to at least defense that. Tank's in position. Might actually, oh, good shot there from Sad Jr. is actually going to be able to push it back into the center of the court here. Kronovi, oh my god, he actually nearly got that angle, just snuck it by, but luckily Lichinio was there to get it at the last moment.
And it just goes to show, again, if you watch that play from its start, the teamwork and communication that Cosmic Aftershock has that lets them be so successful. Gibbs had an easy angle on that shot, but he pulls away to give Sad Jr. the shot instead. Might have been Kronovi, my mistake. And then he takes it when he needs it, just like right there.
And good defense there from Tank. I didn't think he was actually going to be able to get up there and knock that out of the goal, but he managed to just nudge it enough for his teammates to get there in time, too. Does have a canister here. Let's see if he utilizes it well. He's going to try to slow dribble this around, but Falcon unfortunately nipped it from him. And that's going to cede control back over to Cosmic.
Yeah, and they're keeping the pressure on. And again, with a 1-goal lead, if you're able to keep that ball in your opponent's zone, that's like double or nothing for you. There's no risk whatsoever.
Oh, so dangerous, but Plutonium lives for the danger. Here you see him again making big plays for VQ Untethered. They're trying to stay alive. Again, Plutonium Falcon coming in there and knocking it out of the area for which the other team tries to score. Oh my god, Plutonium is just everywhere right now.
Yeah, and every time that he touched the ball during that drive, he saved the goal. So were it not for him, this would be a much different story right now.
Lichinio, again, just the control right now from Cosmic. They know they're up 1. They got 3 minutes here. They're okay with the slow game as long as they maintain control of the ball here in the offensive zone.
It's really hard to score when the ball's in your zone all the time, and especially, you know, the longer it's there, the more disorganized that you're going to get if you're VQ Untethered right now. It's really hard, you know. If the ball comes in expectedly, you've got someone back that can help you regain the momentum, but when you're trapped in there for so long, it's so hard to get moving forward.
That hit was amazing right there from Plutonium Falcon. It meant nothing, but it was still so cool to watch. Tank coming through as well, Lichinio, all of them going for the offensive plays. Grabs a canister. He's going to be able to knock that out again. Plutonium is just saving the day right now and exerting some control on the offensive side. He's going to pinch this, and Lichinio might be there. Not quite. It's actually Tank coming out there for the offensive try, but there's Lichinio to fly it back. Nearly got the goal as well. Unbelievable play here from both sides.
And it all starts because Plutonium Falcon is back there and manages to get another game-saving or a goal-saving save, if I may speak so. Psyonix, you need to go back in the files, take that clear ball away, and give him an epic save for that one because it absolutely saved the game for them.
No kidding. Grabs another canister. I can't keep my eyes off Falcon right now. He's just doing everything, although Lichinio flying up as well. Here's Gibbs with 3 saves in 1. He's padding the stats a little bit. We got a minute left, though. These guys got to make a play, and there's maybe an opportunity for Sad Jr. to punish. Not quite there.
Yeah, a little bit of luck that they managed to divert that, but they stuck with him and didn't allow him to get a dribble over them, and I think the attacker has the advantage there, so a lot of credit to them for that one.
All right, I'm going to hop on board with Lichinio here. He's flying everywhere. Amazing shot! Oh, my goodness! Just in the nick of time making the spectator switch. Look at this guy following up. Great set from Tank, and Lichinio finishes it off. Amazing goal, and we're knotted up at 1.
Yeah, had about a 1/10 of a second to put himself in the right angle for that shot and just did it perfectly.
We got a minute left to go here, and these boys are finally ready to fight. VQ Untethered making Cosmic Aftershock thinking a little bit here. Let's see how they respond. Sad Jr. with a nice little love tap going into the center. We got 1 minute remaining. Lichinio trying to get up and be aggressive again, and Tank's still there. These guys are just keeping it in the air at all times.
Yeah, and this might as well be overtime of an elimination game right now. You know, if Cosmic Aftershock scores right now, this series might as well be over. But if VQ Untethered is able to put one more on the board, we have a series.
There's a great destruction from Lichinio. Actually, if Plutonium can get a good hit on there, would have been an opportunity, but Tank maybe nearly had the time to do it. Actually, Gibbs was still dead up at that point, so Tank would have had a shot on goal, but a great save there from Sad Jr.
Yeah, not quite enough speed to get it past Sad Jr. It's going to be tough to hit those, but Plutonium Falcon with a great chance there if he'd nailed that angle shot.
Oh, smart play there from Kernovi as well. Saw Lichinio trying to make a counter hit on him, but he didn't let it come by. And Gibbs now, of course, exerting that control again. They got 10 seconds left. Maybe playing for overtime here. Kernovi, though. Oh, Kernovi trying to beat Kernovi, but that's probably going to do it. They're still keeping it alive. These guys don't play for overtime. They play for the win. Look at these guys coming up again. Kernovi not quite able to get it, though.
I believed
a little bit. I tried to believe.
You know, that danger all started because Tank went for an aggressive play, which could have given his team the momentum to pull off a game-winning goal, but instead it just kind of falls anemically off the front of his car and sets that up. Very dangerous situation.
Another pass from Kernovi back to Gibbs to get a good clear ball. You see this happening multiple times now where they recognize there's not a lot of opportunities to really clear it from whatever angle they had, so they just knock it back to Gibbs, who's always there and ready. Amazing play there from Plutonium again, keeping him off the ball.
This is exactly where VQ Untethered does not want to be. Lots of pressure in their zone, very important game. Next goal wins, and Gibbs is just able to sweep it in every single time it crosses the half line.
All right, when we got a tie game 1-1, you know we got to be on board with Kernovi right now. He's likely to make some magic happen. Gibbs there for the reset. Kernovi's going up. He's got an angle. There's Gibbs, though. A little bit too high. Sad Jr.'s playing a little bit further back, though. He knows he's ready for the rotation. Sad Jr. following it up, and there it is. Sad Jr. ends the game 2-1 in overtime. Cosmic Aftershock up 3-0. Amazing follow-through, and again, just utilizing that top crossbar bounce.
We've seen him set up Gibbs, we've seen him set up Kernovi, and now he sets up himself, proving that, you know, he's enough of a danger by himself. You can't relax just because there's only one person past the midfield.
All right, so according to pattern here, again, we got best of 7 here. Cosmic Aftershock up 3-0, but these guys, they're getting closer and closer. You can see it. You can see the hunger in the eyes of the little tiny drivers in microscopic cars. Plutonium Falcon and Lichinio are both playing out of their minds right now, and it's taking everything they've got to at least compete with these guys.
Oh, absolutely. And you have to wonder if that's going to be more of the same in the last game or if that effort is eventually going to take its toll and they're going to fall off a little bit. But some team has to find a way to put the pressure on Cosmic Aftershock. You can see, again, they've got 14 shots versus 6 shots. You know, they more than doubled the shot total from VQ Untethered. It's just, you're not going to consistently win, and you need to consistently win in a best of 7 in order to pull off a series victory.
7 saves from the VQ Untethered side. They've got the defense down, and we thought it was all Plutonium, but the entire squad actually doing a great job keeping the ball out of the net. And this here is game 4. Will Cosmic Aftershock take the sweep, or will VQ Untethered make things interesting? We're sticking on board here with Gibbs. Let's see what happens.
I'm excited. You know, I'm still sticking by my prediction. I've got high hopes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You made that terrible prediction.
You forced my hand.
I sure did, yes. That was all me. All right, Gibbs coming through here in midfield. Again, just that slow control game. Good shot by Tank. We got Cosmic Aftershock on the blue side. We got VQ Untethered on the orange. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Lichinio here, making some big aerial plays for the first 3 games.
Man, and Sad Jr., not just style, but substance as well. Putting himself perpendicular to the ball, corkscrew, almost gets a great chance, but now
nearly followed it up as well as Lichinio. If he knew it was coming that way, he probably had a shot, and so many missed opportunities there for Untethered.
Yeah, you got to be thinking 2nd, 3rd, 4th time's the charm, but it's crossbar, post, you know, slight miss, good save, and that's just the way it's been this game
just
so far.
Another textbook knockback from Gibbs. Kernovi's actually got an opportunity here. Let's see if he can finish it off. Not quite going for it. There's Sad Jr., though. Maybe another little set. Gibbs is up there. They know when they've got a chance, they got to bring all 3 guys up. And that's what they did, and unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize there.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to be thinking VQ Untethered, like, what more do we have to do to actually score the first goal here? They've had a lot of pressure. Just like we suggested, it's important to get, and still, Cosmic Aftershock proving they're not just a scoring machine. They can keep it out of their net as well.
Plutonium, Falcon, and Lichinio. Oh, great shot from Plutonium. Again, though, just so slightly off. And there's a big miss from Lichinio as well. Oh, and that's dangerous.
That would have been an absolute heartbreaker.
The lucky goal. So close. You know their hearts have got to be beaten after that one. Mine is, because I'm alive. Chinio is just playing a little bit back. Actually manages to get a nice knock up there. But Gibbs, again with the return shot, just knows how to set himself up to bounce it right back.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we got a little bit of a lull in the action here so we can talk about this play. But you got to be thinking that at some point, you know, they're going to line up. They're going to be in sync with one another and score here. It's a matter of what team gets it first.
Ooh, Plutonium again. He's always there as that last line of defense. He knows the tank's out of position. He's going to have to rotate. Kronovi going up. You can see, I think, it's just a little bit of fear. Once Kronovi's up there, you know the other players are hesitant to actually do anything up in the sky.
Yeah, and it's kind of counterintuitive, but sometimes the only thing you can do that's actually effective is get up there and try to stop him, because if you let him have dominance over the air, he's going to do whatever he wants.
Oh, great plays there from Kronovi as well. He saw Sad Jr. going up for the opportunity, so he tried to play some disruption on the goalie. Unfortunately, didn't get what he was looking for. Gonna have to clear this out again. Let's see. No, okay, Plutonium Falcon makes a good play at midfield.
Yeah, and we're in a very unfortunate situation with BQ Untethered.
Wow.
Yeah, they all committed to trying to get that momentum. Good clear by Tank started them with the momentum, but Sad Jr. just potted it over the wall and
so
got
quickly too.
So yeah, that's fast. How quickly the momentum can turn.
There it is, up 1-0, Cosmic Aftershock. That was 3 minutes gone by. That's actually very surprising to me. We got some fast-paced Rocket League going on right now.
Yeah, that was not a boring stretch of gameplay. There are already 11 shots that have taken place.
Oh my goodness.
That was just the first one that managed to be a goal, and it took an incredible dribble from Sad Jr. to make it happen.
Kronovi with the body block. We got our eyes on Sad Jr. here, I think, actually. Yeah, let's go ahead and hop on board with Tank right now. We know Untethered is capable, but they've got to make some big plays right now. They got to set themselves up. Hopefully not this one up before time starts ticking down too fast on him. Gibbs, though, just will not let it happen.
And Plutonium Falcon doing what they have to do here to keep momentum. It's a big risk to commit to those momentum shifts, but if you get them, that's pretty much the only way you're going to tie this up with 1.5 minutes remaining.
Heading into the corner, another amazing defensive stop by Plutonium, and Lichinio there as well. Kronovi knew exactly where he needed to be, but Lichinio says, no, thank you, buddy. We are keeping this at a 1-goal deficit. Here comes Plutonium as well. Oh, he's got the opportunity, and he gets it. It's Tank.
This is some of the best play that we've seen in the entire tournament from any team. 2 amazing saves. Couple of misses there defensively from Cosmic, but Tank just with a lucky angled shot there. I shouldn't say lucky. It was probably skillful and intentional, but pots it past Gibbs, and maybe that's the lucky part. Gibbs a little bit slow on the draw there, and we're tied up.
A couple of misses maybe, I think, on defense there from Cosmic Aftershock, and they're capitalizing on the mistakes, and we know that that's what they have to do. They're going to have so few opportunities to actually make something happen that when you see something like that go down, you know that they have to score there.
Yeah, maybe Gibbs was just as confused as we were. Like, what? Kronovi and Sad Jr. went up and missed?
What world is this?
Yeah, this is a new territory.
We're going to go hop on board again here with Lichinio, actually. He's got to make some magic happen now. This is the final minute of Game 4. VQ Untethered playing for their tournament lives here in the finals of ESL Rocket League Go for Tournament North America Cup number 4. Tank again centering the ball. Plutonium has taken out Sad. They've got the numbers advantage again. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Yeah, and with 30 seconds left, you have to think that we're already in overtime, basically. Next goal is probably going to win.
Amazing play still from both sides. Again, Gibbs with just an incredible center/clear ball. Getting him in a good spot. Amazing play again from Plutonium. I think I got to hop on board with Plutonium Falcon, actually. He sees, actually, an opportunity to cancel out the goalkeeper, but not much coming from that. Lets Lichinio hit that one into the corner. We'll see Sad Jr. try to counter that hit again. Looks like this ball's going to be dropping down, though.
I'll just let it touch the ground.
There it is, overtime. Game 4. Let's get the hype up. It's 1-1. This could decide the tournament right here. If Cosmic puts this in, this is going to be it.
And no matter what, this has been a great series. That was almost the end of it right
there.
That
was so close.
We're still in it. 2 overtime.
Oh, no! I can't tell if that was maybe a horrible mistake by Plutonium or if just an amazing shot by Gibbs. Whoa, no. Plutonium Falcon.
It looked like it was probably going to miss, and that is just a heartbreaker. It defines the series, and it didn't need to because there was such good play from both teams throughout the tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't want to let him dwell on that at all. Plutonium, if you're watching this, man, amazing play all throughout that tournament.
Absolutely.
But just such an unfortunate ending. Wow. Well, that's going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, your ESL Rocket League, Go4RocketLeague tournament champions here. Cosmic Aftershock, again, exuding that dominance, but great games here with VQ Untethered as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great tournament, and honestly, even though we only saw sweeps today, there were a lot of really close series that are kind of betrayed by that scoreline, particularly the finals. I think that was the best series we had in the tournament so far. Untethered against Knockout was amazing as well, and of course, great play from Cosmic Aftershock throughout the tournament.
You got to remember one of Cosmic's earlier opponents there. I think it was Octakumi. They showed some promise as well, so we got a lot of teams that are actually being able to compete with Cosmic now.
Yeah, you have to wonder if maybe Octakumi was in the other side of the bracket, if they could have pushed ahead a little further. They had the misfortune a little bit of running into Cosmic Aftershock, and they could easily have made it to the semis or even the finals, maybe, if they'd continued their consistent play.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations to Cosmic Aftershock, victors here of North American Cup #4 here for ESL. And that's going to do it for us. Again, I'm BaerTaffy. This is Northernlion here, broadcasting live for ESL Rocket League. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you next time.
See you next time.